You are now tuned in to Respect the DJ podcast, coming to you live. Welcome to Respect the DJ podcast. I'm your host, DJ Junebug, alongside DJ Khaled.
Yes.
Today we have one of Orlando's legends. This guy's been around since Shell Tops, Adidas, and Shell, still rocking these parties. One of the forefathers of bringing this hip hop thing to Orlando. He has DJ with your favorite DJs DJ. He has Certified Country, and maybe your baby mama back in the days. Let's give a big round of applause for the one and only DJ Caesar.
Let's go. So,
Caesar, welcome, Caesar.
Nah, wait, so why I gotta have a number of baby mamas back in the
Well,
day?
you never know. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
you
that's
never
fair.
know.
That's fair.
No, you don't have baby mamas. You've been serving these baby mamas. You know
Serving.
what I'm saying?
There
You're
we go.
serving them.
I work with that.
You
I
serve
work
the
with
country.
that.
You know what I'm saying?
I rock with that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool.
We all got baby mamas.
Yes, sir.
mamas.
right. Damn.
I'm on camera now, so hold on.
Some of the baby mamas are grandmamas now.
Yeah.
Facts.
Some of the baby mamas, we made them baby mamas. DJ in the club, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So it's crazy.
I
Stuff
got a
like that.
story about that, but I don't want to say that.
Yes.
That for after. So I see that we definitely appreciate you, man. Know you a long time, but these are things that me and Junebug may know, but other people want to know. So how did you get your DJ name?
So for me, it was actually, it was simple for me because Caesar's my middle name, right? But originally, So originally my DJ name was Daddy OC, right?
Okay.
So we had it was back in the day when me and Khaled and Nasty were doing our thing. We had some people that always rock with us, and then I had a group that I was rocking with called Smooth Joint Productions. So the MC from that group used to always call me Daddy O.
Okay.
So it was like one of them things, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, all right, cool. So if I'm Daddy O, then just add the C to it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it became Daddy OC.
Okay.
And then that was kind of my thing for a little bit. And then from there, I just, I adopted, said, you know what? Why am I going to sit there and call myself Daddy OC when I could just use my real name?
Just
you know
cut
what I'm
it
saying?
short.
Yeah, because a lot of people think that's a fake name. And I'm like, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But it fit. So I was like, hey, it's easy. I'm going to keep DJ Caesar as my name. Caesar's my name. That's the name I get called by in school. So everybody knew me that.
Right,
you know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
So, boom, that's it.
Kept it simple.
Yes, sir.
So
Had to.
how did it all start for you DJing? Like, what made you wake up one day and say, I want to DJ?
So it's crazy because, man. So like back in the day, when I used to go visit my grandparents in Alabama and my mom's family in Alabama, my grandmother had a record store. So, we used to go up there, Columbus, Georgia area, Alabama, Phoenix City, Alabama area. And we'd go into the record store and I'd just hang out with my grandma. So, for me, I was just like, damn, these records is like, this is just a vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was cool to be in the space of all this vinyl and stuff. So there was a record that used to always get played on the radio. And I was like, yo, what is that song? And then boom, I was in the record store and I saw it and she played it. And it was Africa Mabata, playing a rock. Yeah,
rock.
Soul Sonic Force. And I was like, yo, I gotta get in this because this is just a move for me. Like I felt it, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then in addition to that, I skate. So I used to go to skating rink back in the day, and Magic Mike was a DJ there. So
Wow.
it's Magic Mike.
Right.
So while I would be skating around, I'd be peeping Magic Mike and what he's doing. I'm like, damn, he's kind of killing it right now. You know what I'm saying? So from there, it just kind of developed into, okay, I realized I really have an interest in vinyl, and then however it's being used is the next thing. The art value that came with it was the next thing.
Right.
Jumped into, I was in middle school, and my middle school, one of my teachers was a DJ, and
Wow.
yeah, science teacher, and he was DJing junior high school back in the day. I say middle school now, but it's junior.
It's junior high school.
Lakeview Junior High School. His name was Mr. Nadler, and he went by the DJ name of Dr. John. And from there, I was like, yo, he gave me an opportunity to work with him and set up stuff and set up equipment, as most DJs do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you start off by helping another DJ out,
right.
being the record man or whatever, and set up the
Carrying
equipment.
shit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that was my episode of that. I wasn't doing it to go into the clubs. It was me starting off doing it in school.
Right.
And man, I helped him out, and he just gave me an opportunity. He was like, "Yo, you wanna start DJing some of these parties? Because the kids, you're students, so you know what's going on." So
Right.
I would just be giving them advice, and I used to dance and all that stuff, like most people did back in the day. So I was like, "Yeah, man, shoot, whatever." So boom, started helping him out, and it just kind of took off from there.
So you would say he mentored you? Would you say that to an extent? or-
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he would have been my first DJing mentor. Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Nadler,
Dope.
Dr. John. Wow.
Yo, how great was it back in the days to hold that vinyl and to feel, to find out who produced the record, you know, get all the information, you know, the artwork on the 12-inch and stuff
Read
like that,
it,
on
yeah.
the albums. And,
Man, it's
and
nothing
read,
like that.
you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
it's I compare that to like a lot of people, even like with the cassette world. Like, you know, the first thing you do is get a cassette tape. Boom, you open it up, take the tape out,
Right.
take out the cover,
Right.
open it
Open
up,
up, yeah.
read through
We
all,
live-
all
we
the
live
credits
upon
and
it.
everything. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
When we had good eyes.
Right? So, so that was for me. Like in terms of the vinyl world, it was the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to really, there was like content involved with it. And then again, like for me, a lot of people ask me this, like, "Yo, you from up north? You from New York?" No, I was born in Jersey, but I grew up in Orlando. So for me, I spent the majority of my life here in Orlando and Central Florida area. So I lived my life through the vinyl from the imagery and stuff like that and the
Right,
stories
right.
that were on the vinyl and who got the shout outs and all that stuff. Like, all right, cool. I keep seeing these shout outs to specific people and DJs, whatever. I need to figure out who those DJs are and how do I hear them. You know what I'm saying? They just kind of built it off of that. But man, opening vinyl, whew,
That's
nothing like
shit.
it, bro. You got to turn it sideways, take it across your legs, man. Just boom. that
sure you don't get
plastic
burned.
pops off. Yeah, that plastic pops off. See, a lot of people in Cred knows, like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know about that, but you take it across your legs and let
Come
that
right off.
Yes,
Right.
sir. And then turn it up and open it up.
Yeah.
And boy, that's a feeling.
Yeah,
right
I
there.
think the challenge for me was when you take that cassette tape out and that shit was like 9 pages long to fold it to get it back
And fit
get the
right?
and get
Never.
yeah, that was like a
It's all
Never
puffy
happens.
and shit.
Never
it was
works
like
that way.
origami or something. Yeah, it was a hot mess.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah.
Tape never go back in right. Next thing you know, he's like, well, whatever. I'm just gonna have the tape anyway.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Shit.
And I still do that with CDs. I mean, that's not like I buy new CDs or anything like that. But when I got them, I did the same thing. Just open them up. Boom.
Yeah.
And if I store the CD somewhere else, and then I keep the tape, like the CD cover. So my girls ask me like all the time, like, "Yo, why you got all these CD cases in here?" I'll be honest with you, like it's just a thing. I have to know what's going on in the, like the artistry. And sometimes you find stuff in there, like you might find that there's a bonus track or something like that, and you can read up on it and they'll tell you how to
Right.
get to it or whatever. Creative stuff like that, So that's my
Yeah,
thing.
those are the
yeah.
times.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who's the first DJ or promoter put you on?
The first DJ or promoter that put me on. See, back then, in terms of this thing that we called hip hop here in Orlando, I would say, wow, that's a tough one because I can go back to the Disney days.
Yeah, go back as
Go
far
back
as
as far as you go back.
Yeah,
you know
as
what I'm
you
saying?
want.
Man,
I mean, you
so-
say a teacher put you on for.
yeah, he mentored them.
Mentored
He
them,
got
stuff
him
like that.
into connecting cables and shit.
Right,
and-
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
exactly. And carrying shit.
Right.
So there was this club in Lake Winter Vista. It was called Sweet 16, I think was the name of it back in the day. And that was my first party that I got to DJ in terms of a club. The rest was just house parties.
Right,
know,
right, right,
always
yeah.
did that. But that was like my first one that I got to do as a club, quote unquote. And then from there, like, Khaled and I kind of joined together and did something there. I still got the flyer. Somebody sent me the flyer for that. I was like, wow. But yeah, so we did that. Then after that, outside of what we did for ourselves as parties, I would say probably the next spot would have been, I want to say Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club. Ooh,
Yeah.
way out there.
Lee Road.
Lee Road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one
Been
of the,
changed a couple of times, different names.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
One of the owners, Lulu, and God, I can't remember the dude's name, the brother that was helping manage the club, but man, they were crazy. And me and Callie used to hang out there all the time and play cards and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and yeah, we finally got an opportunity, and yeah, man, it was dope. It was dope.
Yeah,
'Cause
Breakfast Club. That turned into Cyberzone.
Yeah,
Shit
yeah.
was a crazy mess.
Yeah,
then.
that was on a whole other level.
Yeah. Like the old Firestone days after 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I think LS know about Cyberzone.
2 to 6. So,
But I mean, I could be like, I'm a little young right now, so you know what I'm saying.
yeah.
Like,
Hey.
I may have forgotten a specific spot or something like
It's
that.
all
So
good.
If you find something else out there, you let me know.
Yeah, yeah.
And I go from
Let
there.
us
But,
know.
Yeah, but in terms of the starts, like that would have been that, and then from there we kind of, that's when we kind of picked up the entrepreneurial aspect of everything, and then kind of just did our own thing. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
yeah,
like, and then I would say coming back into the club scene, it definitely would have been H Ringer, and we connected.
Shout
and
out to
just,
HR.
yeah.
yes. So, coming from both worlds as a promoter and a DJ,
Mm.
to you, what's more important?
Ooh. Coming from both worlds.
You know,
Oh, definitely DJ because it's my foundation. You know
It's
what I'm saying?
foundation.
Yeah, absolutely. because the DJ is what makes the party. Like promoter brings people to the party potentially. Back in
Right.
the day, it used to be the DJ that bring the people to the party. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like now it's a whole different thing. So, or to be honest with you, like even now it's gotten to a place where it doesn't even matter who's promoting. If there's an event at a nice venue, boom, people are coming.
People
right?
showing up, yeah.
Yeah. But the thing that I think a lot of promoters have forgotten is if the DJ is not there doing what he does, you don't have a party. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
Right.
you could have a you could have a I don't know, you could have a Lamborghini body for a car and put a Yugo engine or one of them old school engines in it, and then they going the speed that it could be
Right.
as a Lamborghini. You feel me? Like so it could drive down the road and look nice, but
Driving like shit.
exactly. So
Yeah.
so my point is like again, like without the DJ, you don't really have a party. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
and you'll know it because the people that come, they might come in there and then they go, yo, this spot is dope. But damn. like yo, they keep hitting the bar and the drinks get stronger, whatever, and they just realize like, yo, I'm not having a good time. These drinks are popping, but I'm spending
Right,
like
right.
$200 just to have a good time. Whereas if the DJ is doing his thing correctly from
Right.
the beginning to the end of the party, regardless if it's just the same DJ or if it's other ones, if it's like it's I mean it's art. You have to be art. It's artistic. Like people don't understand. Like you have to. It's like choreographing.
Choreography,
You know what I'm saying? Choreography
yeah.
in respect to how you build the party up. You know what I'm saying? Like be it the opening DJ plays a certain type of way, get people get the mind right and get the mood right, the vibe set up, and then the other the closing DJ comes in and kills it or whatever the case may be. But the point is that it has to be orchestrated a certain way, and if it's not, then boom, you just mess up the whole party. That's something that's a lot of people just don't understand.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I said, he's coming from a promoter and a DJ. Because you are 1/3 of the brunch of assholes
Yes, sir.
parties in the old
Yeah.
old school parties. You also a promoter for that. So you see both worlds and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And trust me, sometimes even as from the promoter's perspective, and you've been there. Me and my partners, we get into it sometimes about, one of my partners, we get into it sometimes because he's
What's
not
his
a
name
DJ.
later
Yeah, I love that nigga, but Jay, man, Jay, you know what it is. but
You never carry shit.
yeah, like but he's not. He doesn't know. He doesn't understand from a DJ perspective. But he admits that. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
he tells the straight up, like, yo, that's why I leave that shit to y'all. Whoopty whoop.
Right.
Cool. So, but when we clash on that, like,
Yeah.
yo, you gotta understand, like, yo, at the end of the day, we're trying to, we still have to think about what the vibe is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and we just can't take the parties certain directions if it doesn't make sense.
Right.
And if the party's themed a certain thing, as an example, and I'm not saying this is just Jay, but I'm just saying as a whole.
No, the whole, right,
Yeah.
right.
If the party is themed as an R&B party and we sitting here playing hip hop,
Right.
well, what the fuck is going on? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
Yeah. People gonna show up for the R&B if that's what
R&B.
they showing up
Right.
you
for.
feel me?
right?
Like,
Exactly.
so
Yes.
I think, unfortunately, I feel like, and this is why I like what you guys are doing, because, a lot of people don't respect the DJ. You feel me?
Right.
Like, and they don't understand, like, yo, when you hire a DJ to come in and play a party for a certain way, granted, we're here to play to the crowd, but our mindset is that if you're doing a theme party and it's set up as an R&B party,
Keep it R&B.
motherfucker, that's what we're gonna play. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? Like,
R&B, soul music, whatever. It was still in that
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
genre. You know what I'm saying? Don't go.
And allow us to be creative with that.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
And
I think
Don't play a soul child and Wu-Tang after. You know?
yeah, but I think you're going to be a little bit more critical because you stand on both sides of the fence, right?
Sure.
So to spin off that, let's say a promoter hires you for an event, but they always telling you, yo, I think you'll play this, or stop playing that, or nah, they ain't gonna like that song, cut that shit short. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you feel about that? Like when they do things like that to you?
So, man, this is one of the things yeah, you're right, because I'm gonna play both sides of the coin on that one, right? But honestly, man, like I do not like that, but I have to respect the fact that oftentimes I have to respect the fact that, hey, listen, this promoter hired me to do the party. I think what it is for me is I look at what type of party is it? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And if I put myself in a position where I know that the party requires that type of music and vibe or whatever the case would be, then I have to own that and say, you know what? Granted, this is what I want. This is where I want to go with it. But this is the promoter's party and this is their event, and they have an event that's already set in this pattern, and they have this way of thinking about it and the way they want it. I got to adhere to that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because that's what they hired me for. If it was a themed party and they didn't like the music within that theme that I was playing, then I tell them, yo, I mean, it sound like you know, maybe
want
maybe
DJ?
you had the wrong DJ.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
like
want DJ?
you know what I'm saying?
or the wrong theme that you want to do.
correct, because
Yeah.
you thought it was one thing, and I'm giving you that, and
Right.
you're not rocking with it. So, you know, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? If and now I'm in my zone, and you're telling me how to do my thing. That's not cool. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I'm not telling you how to work the door. Don't come to me about and tell me how to DJ.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I guarantee you, I won't go back to be hired by them again.
Yeah, I think-
if they call me, I'm just not going. I'll stay
I
away
think if
from
they
that.
hire you, then they should know why they're hiring you, and they should trust you to do your job.
Absolutely.
That's my opinion.
And that goes to the brand of everything. Like, you build your brand, and if you stay with that, you should be good. You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, again, I speak to the way we came up. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
I know it's different now, so you have to cover all these different genres of music or what have you. But that's part of the reason why people don't really see me out in the club that much DJing, because I choose not to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why, just not to make this. I know this interview is about me as in this particular moment, but just as example, like you and correct, like I know that's why you guys don't hit certain markets and DJ for certain markets, because that ain't what you're trying to play. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know that from without even talking to you. I just know, like, that's who you are, and that's what you represent. And that's the same thing. That's what it was for us when we were coming up back in the day. Like, we stayed out of the club scene intentionally,
Right.
because
We did as well, yeah. We
you,
did our
you
own
know what I'm
shit,
saying?
yeah.
And collectively, we did not want to be a part of that, because we wanted to play what we wanted to play. And if you couldn't accept that, cool, keep it moving, go to another venue.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But if you came to a Hitman party, or if or wherever we DJ'd, you knew what you was getting, and we were sticking it with that, and that's the only reason why we stayed. I feel like that's what made us so successful,
Right.
and what we did, because we came in with the vibe like, yo, this is what we play.
Right.
It's a hip hop, R&B, reggae, and house music. If you
Right.
don't like those, don't
You
come.
want party, yeah. You want
Yeah.
this.
We tell people straight out. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Even on the flyer, we write it. Yo,
Same
this,
for you, yeah.
so
We
yeah.
also had a respect back in the days for each other, because like if we did a party on Friday night, we'll call you or somebody else that
Yeah.
hey, we got a party in South of Kissimmee
Right.
on a Friday night. All right, great. You know what? We got a party on Saturday. All right, cool. We're gonna do it on Saturday.
Right, right.
We have to respect. Now everybody's a DJ, a promoter, and
There's
there's
a
just
lot of 'em.
a lot of shit going on, stuff like that. Talking about Hitman DJs back in the days. Who was the Hitman DJs?
So originally it was me. It's pretty much always been us in respect to the DJs. It's been myself, DJ Khaled, and DJ Nasty. Now,
The original three.
yeah,
I remember, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
As Hitman Productions, not
Hitman
'cause-
Productions,
Yeah,
okay.
I stress that.
That was
'cause
the
there's
next question, right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So the Hitman DJs I think it's got an extra N on it or something like that, and then and that's another crew.
So is that production as like producing or still both? How does that work? Like I said, I remember him at DJs, from the beginning back in the early '90s and stuff like that.
As us, so when we did the parties back then, we were just called Hitman Productions, and we kept it all as DJs in production. We kept that under a big umbrella because, I looked at it as the production, like we're putting on an event. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
And so to me, that was a production. You feel me? So, and then in addition to that, under that umbrella came within the music world, Nasty was already producing. So it was already, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
he
yeah,
was,
yeah, yeah.
he had a setup like you got, you know what I
Right,
mean? So
right,
like
yeah.
that was, so with growth, we looked at it as we can always keep that name, because as we grow, that everything will fall up under the
Fall
same
apart,
umbrella.
right.
So
Yeah.
boom,
Right.
yeah.
That's what's up.
Hitman
Yeah.
DJs.
So being a DJ, who's your biggest inspiration? Or like who do you have a lot of respect for?
Locally or just as a whole?
In general, whoever inspires you. Is there one DJ like you always looked up to, like not I want to say look up to, but influenced you? You know what I mean? That you to this day you follow on IG or something like that, or
Yeah, from a musical perspective, damn, it's tough. So I'm gonna say, I mean, my first real DJ that I really looked up to, obviously, was Magic Mike in the clubs and stuff like that, in respect to what he was doing. Because I skated, so like that was my
Right.
thing. But once I really got into the hip hop, like as we know it, as you and I know it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would say, it's crazy. He was my partner, but man, DJ Nasty, dog. Like, straight up, like the people, like I know him, and you guys know him as the Groovin' Cuban. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, so the shit that he used to put out back in the day, man, bro. Like, I mean, like,
Right.
like back
Yeah.
when we used to go to 317 and he was DJing there, and was, when we were DJing on the radio in terms of Rollins College, like like the acapella mixes that he used to do, and
Right.
and everything from reggae to house to hip hop, like R&B, crazy. And his cuts were just clean. So I would say that on the local level. But where we got that from, or where he got that from,
Right.
is Jazzy Jeff. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
Salute to Jazzy Jeff. I mean,
Yeah.
that's one of my top.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You can't.
Yeah.
He's still rocking like he's 17,
Yeah,
18.
I got
Incredible.
VHS
You know what I
tapes
mean?
of Jazzy and
Yeah.
Fresh DJing somewhere, and that's when he was first coming with the bird, the bird in the
Chirps.
chirps
chirp,
and
yeah.
everything.
Live
You transform it. I was like, oh, the
Yeah,
fucking
that Gemini
the
mixer.
Gemini mixer with the wooden panels.
Yep.
Man. Yeah, and the tape from the live at Union Square, and I just listened to that like, God damn, like, he's just.
I
killing
have
it.
that show that it was recorded on WBLS. I have it on tape still.
Right. Wow.
I got it
Yeah,
on
I
tape.
think you know what's crazy is when he was in the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, and he became a household name, you know, for being jazz or whatever. But I don't think let's say Middle America didn't really know who he was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think what's crazy, I think now probably within the last 10 years, I think he's become more of a household type name. And you know what I mean? I know he does his, I think it's a Red Bull, the tour that he
Yeah,
does.
Red
yeah,
Bull Tour.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
He's also have the IG show. He
And the
has.
IG show that he has that, you know, but as far as a DJ, like amazing DJ.
And you know what's crazy about that is that I intentionally did not watch that show because of the way they put like I just didn't.
Comedy too.
It took away from what I saw Jazzy Jeff as. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, right.
Like it. You know, Will Smith is Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? He's always been kind of goofy like that as
Right,
an
right.
artist. But
Yeah.
but what Jazzy Jeff meant for me, I just didn't want to see him in that same light. You know what I'm saying? Like just. But it's not that he was a herb or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like he you know but I just didn't. So I intentionally stopped watching the show. Because I was like, yo, I can't see him that way. I need to see him as
Yeah, they
you know,
pick him
live
up, they
at
throw
Union
his
Square.
ass out there next
Yeah,
time.
you know what I'm saying. And I'm glad they didn't like play on him too much in the show because I would have been hot. You know, I would have been that dude that's been yelling at the TV like, yo,
Why you doing Jeff
yeah,
like that?
you know what I'm saying. But yeah, man, and it's crazy because, you know, like just I never really got I think what created the like my sole interest in him is that his shit was so clean, like so
Everything clean.
everything.
Yeah. Even you know what's great about him as a DJ? There's some DJs you can tell where they're going.
Yeah.
With him, no matter what set, how many times you watch him, you don't know what he's gonna play, how he's
Yeah.
gonna play it.
Yeah.
You know how he presents it and how he, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's amazing that
Yeah.
you know he's still able to do that and be current with it. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
sometimes I just watch him, but let me see what Jeff gonna play this week or whatever. And you never know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He plays what he feels,
Right.
and that's amazing.
And it's difficult for our generation because there's so many DJs that are dope that were dope back in the day, and to me, some of them are still around. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, Premier is right up there with it.
Of
as well.
course.
You know what I'm saying? Like I love. And it's funny because even listening to him like in his satellite radio, you know, shows, like his voice changes and his inflection of his voice changes. I'm like, what's wrong with this dude?
Yeah, it's a
voice?
show for the
Yeah.
But when I hear him DJ, I'm like, damn man, he still got it, kid. Like the shit that he does, it just man, that dude right there. So I you know, collectively, man, there's a number of them. I hate to say it. I know I was supposed to give you one.
Nah, it's all good.
No, but
I
that's
mean,
right. Yeah, whatever
yeah,
you want, man.
yeah.
It's,
you want.
it's about you right now.
So Hitman Production, that's your company?
Yeah.
Is that still relevant?
Yeah, I still use the Hitman
still use
production. Yeah, LLC.
I did
Yeah,
see you
yep.
put some stickers up in Tampa.
Oh, you saw it? Yeah, man. I put the face up, man. I still throw it up. It's funny because somebody hit me up the other day, like, yo, I just saw this sticker. They took a picture of it, and it's like at this gas station. I'm like, yeah, man, that shit don't change. I mean, I may not do graffiti like that anymore, but
Right,
you know, I
right.
still, you know, you got to represent the brand, man. And guerrilla marketing that's what.
We came up on
Yeah,
the marketing.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Steve Rifkin on that.
Oh, word, yeah. Well, he put us
Next
on
level.
to
Yeah, that's another stamp.
that. Jeez.
Yeah, that's
Shout
another
out to him
stamp.
on that. So how many radio stations have you been on?
Just honestly, I don't not as many as most people would think. So I've just been 91.5 with Rollins College was my first,
Right.
and then 102 Jams back in the day, and then Star 94.5 were my core. There was another station I didn't really report.
You talking about the old basement shit we used to have back in the days?
Yeah.
The pirate station with all.
Yeah.
I
There's-
can't remember this cat right now. You know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah,
We've been there too.
You know what it is. So,
Got shut down every 2 weeks. Got shut down.
yeah, man. So
The
I did that.
pirate station.
Pirate
Yeah.
station, yeah.
So I did it a couple times, but that wasn't my forte, honestly, right? And then so that station that brings back memories. But and then there was some stations in Alabama that I picked up a couple times, but nothing crazy. I've done some like serious radio stuff, but there was some conflicts with that. So not in a negative way, but there's another DJ Caesar out there. So and he has the same
Yeah,
spelling.
he's on 90.
He's on
He's
Shea
on
45.
Shea 45. Shea
Yeah,
45,
and he's from Philly. He's a good
Yeah.
dude, man.
Yeah,
we,
yeah.
we kicked it, we chopped it up. So it was it got to one of the situation scenarios. 'Cause I used to do like a lot of reggae and dancehall. So I was doing at the time it was 42, so it was the reggae station at the time. So and I used to do some shows, and then they finally came to me like, hey, is there any way you can change your name? Kind of maybe use a different name. I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. And to be real with you, like I actually tried it just because I wanted to make sure, Sirius XM,
Right.
my partner Scream was on there, so it was like,
Right.
duh, it's kind of a no, like you gotta, that's a great opportunity.
Right.
But I couldn't see myself trying to rebrand a new name. Like,
What was the new name you picked anyway?
it was something corny, dog. Like it was something like, because my first name is,
Yeah.
So I was trying to,
You
yeah. So I was trying to double.
see,
that,
I didn't want to say because
you feel? Hey,
fuck it.
I mean, I gotta get comfortable with that
Yeah,
because to be,
it's your
not-
name.
Yeah, but
Shit.
I'm like on Facebook. That's what it is. But
Yeah.
I just
Julius.
right.
Yeah.
But I was, I was like, let's use something corny like the Roman Emperor or something. I don't-
Well,
you know what I'm
that
saying?
was corny.
Yeah.
We're glad you ain't change it.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Get out here, Junebug.
Don't forget it's the bug.
Yeah.
All right, so just going back a little bit. Same thing, like I said, me and Junebug know these stories, but a lot of people may want to know them. So, like back in the day, what was it like doing the parties, like at the Lebanese Rotary, and you know what I mean? Like, how was it? Like,
It was life. There's no other way to say it, man. That was life, man. That was like the best thing ever. Like the best thing ever. Because you got like it was life, though. Like, cause we got to meet. I mean, like everybody was cool back in the day.
Yeah.
Like
fun.
everybody, you
It's
know what I'm
fun.
yeah,
saying?
it was a small circle too.
Right.
Yeah.
And if they're still here, we're still cool.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and we didn't have, and again, I understand people. It's time as you get older, things grow. We didn't have like the cell phones. Some of us did, but we didn't have like the cell phones for real. Like,
Yeah,
where,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where you just every day you're on Instagram, social media. It's none of
Right.
that back in the day. So
Yeah.
you had to talk to people and deal with people. So we knew how to deal with people and how to talk to people. We handed out flyers.
Right.
You had to.
We spoke to our guests coming in.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like you knew your audience and your audience knew you. So it wasn't like when they came to the party they didn't know who was DJing. They knew you by some way. Like,
Right.
Right.
this and the third. So like it was everything, dude. Like it was everything. And you know what? Sometimes you might kick it to a couple people. No, it's like
We'll get to those groupies later on,
yeah.
okay?
Nah, I wouldn't. Nah, see, so and that was the thing, like, and that was the funny part because everybody expected me to have, I've always had these groupies and this, that, and whatever. And I was just never that dude. I was always focused on my music. So it was like, in the party, in the business, because that's
Right.
another part that people didn't realize. Is like, while we threw the parties, we were the
Business,
ones. Who,
yeah.
we handled the party. So
Yeah.
between Nasty and his family, like his brothers and our crew that we had, as security, which was part of it was his brothers, and then the Oak Ridge crew, and then we had Patty and
Right.
we call them the Cimarron crew.
Right,
So
the Cimarron crew,
like,
yep,
yeah,
yep.
and they worked the doors for us and helped us out on that level and promote and stuff like that, bro. We had a crew, like everybody was passing off
Yeah.
flyers. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Everybody had a job.
yeah, and it was constant. And like when we had another party that we were doing, we always made sure we had the next set of flyers there because remember we used to have to go to Office Depot and Kinko's and
Oh,
all that
Kinko's.
stuff.
I always
Kinko's.
hate
Yeah.
that fucking spot.
Kinko's.
Yeah,
was the
and
shit.
cut the flyers and print them up and cut them and print them and cut them
Yo,
and just keep
I
doing
hate
that.
it when they got that. They came with a little key that told you how many copies you got.
Oh, yeah, no,
that
see.
fucked the whole game up.
Yeah, that really
I was
fucked.
like,
Yeah, that
fuck.
messed. Yeah,
now
that
they
messed-
counting this shit.
Yeah. So
we spent a lot of late nights in Kinko's.
a lot of late nights, man.
Cutting
The one by Florida Mall.
scissors, scissors,
yeah.
glue, cutting shit
Oh
up.
my God,
And then
shit was torture.
And then we had it down. So we had like a system because we used to pass out the flyers and then go downtown and pass them out downtown because it was a little different. Because back then the iDrive was the spot.
popping.
Yeah,
Yeah, iDrive was
You know what I'm
popping.
saying? So we used to pass out flyers out there if we really wanted to because the bigger thing for us is we were focused on a specific audience. Like we wanted people who enjoyed and understood the music that we was playing, that were
Right.
there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which meant, Kissimmee at the time was coming up as that was the hot spot. So
Right.
everybody would come down to Kissimmee, pass out flyers, and now this whole leg of it is Poinciana and all sort of craziness. But like that's what we used to do, and then all of that led back into us getting an opportunity to see people face to face and pass
Right.
our flyers. You know what I'm saying? And that's what made the experience of doing the parties amazing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it just it just fed life into you. Like and then you
You're
get
looking
your
forward
vi-
for our next party. You're looking forward to our next party.
Absolutely.
The next party. Yeah.
Absolutely. And then getting your vinyl ready
Yeah.
and, you know what I'm saying, organizing your music and,
Yeah.
and trying to, for us, we would always like, because again, we weren't living in New York. So we would always be here like, all right, cool. So we had somebody that was up in New York on Sundays, would record Pete Rock's show and all
Right, the
all
flex shows,
future
right,
flavors.
Future
Yeah,
Flavors.
future flavors and all that stuff. And then they would send us the tapes and then we knew what we needed to get. And then,
Right.
or, between the record labels and then, Rock and Soul. Is it, yeah,
Rock and Soul.
Rock and Soul. Yeah, I'm trying to remember who was the contact, but we had a dude up there who just
Yeah, I had somebody too. When I moved out here, for
Yeah.
every weekend we'll call them up to get the white labels.
yeah.
So we just get the white labels.
Yep, and then it's stuff like that. So it was a working thing, and it just kept it was nonstop. Of course, I was in school at the time too, so it was like for me, I'm trying to juggle that, and I had my daughter, my son. It was
Right.
like
So
but
the family life,
right,
DJ
but,
life.
Yeah, but I mean, doing the parties, man, and the events, man, it was life, man. It was life. It was good. Yeah, it was good.
Well, talking about those parties back in the days, those Howard Ringer parties, those hip hop parties
Yeah.
back in the days. What was the feeling of DJing these shows? Because we all know how Ringer used to bring out everybody.
Right.
If it was a hip hop party back in the days, HR bung them out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? And during that time, I remember the Hitman Production was actually the main DJs for Howard.
Yeah.
at
All
one
the
point.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, dog, like Howard Ringer for Orlando. Yeah, he really gave us a lot of opportunity by way of Heroes, the nightclub Heroes. And it's funny because we were just talking about the homecomings and Howard and stuff like that.
Right.
So Howard actually went to Howard University. So he would always that was back when the Source van was out and all that stuff. And that was the talk. He would always have an opportunity for us to go up to Howard's homecoming. I didn't get to go as much, but Khaled went up there with him a lot
Okay.
because he would do events and parties up there.
Right.
But the exposure that he gave us, man, was just like out of this world, like out of this world. And we were all so appreciative of that. You know what I'm saying? To this day, every time I see him and I talk to him, it's nothing but love. And if he was ever to come to a party, an event that I was doing, and he was standing in line, I'm pulling him out the line.
Of course.
100%.
You have to.
Yeah, like
You
I'm
have
not,
to.
I,
Right.
and I always pay homage to that, to that brother, man, like, because of the stuff that he used to do for us, and just
Right.
like people don't know, like we used to sit inside of Heroes, man, it was 21 and up, and we used to be in there. I was like,
Mad Young sitting in the back corner. I remember.
and then when the club would close, me and Khaled would be in the office with them, and Howard had so much trust and love for us, and respected us so much that he would be in there counting money, handling the business and whatever. We wouldn't leave that place till the sun came up.
Yeah.
I'm saying he used to drive this red Probe. I'll never forget. We used to get in that bad boy, and that's like for me, I was like, damn, I'm sitting here at a club at 5 o'clock in the morning. I feel like I was in a movie. Matter of fact, like the office of it it was reminiscent of this without all the images and stuff like that. And it would be at the front, and then we'd just be sitting there and just counting and just fall asleep, and somebody would bring us breakfast, and then all that shit, right? But he opened us up to Ron G, which on the mixtape game was crazy.
Right.
Kid Capri. Everybody, man. Howard knew everybody. He was connected to everybody. And doing those concerts and those shows, everything, man. Of course, Jack the Rapper came down here.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was dope.
But how was those after parties that he was like in the small room?
In the upstairs room?
The upstairs room, yeah, the upstairs room.
Yeah. Yeah. There were parties. They were
They were special.
very special, man. That was my first time. Boy, God forbid my lady sees this one, but it is what it is.
This like,
This
30 years ago. Don't worry about it.
exactly.
It's all good.
Right.
Man, I hope my kids don't hear this either, but it's all good, man. But that was my first introduction to a female stripper, or to a stripper. Let me not say a female
Yeah,
stripper.
hopefully it's not a male stripper, right? You watch your male strippers. That's another show. That's another show. What are you talking about?
All right, so yeah, and man, I saw a chick light a cigarette with a. I was like, yo. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's Luke level right there.
Luke.
Uncle Luke level right there.
Yo, I say, yo, man, this is, he. Now that I think about it, damn, Ringer introduced me to a lot of shit.
A lot of shit. See?
Yeah, but I mean, man, that Heroes did a lot for Orlando in respect to, just the club game period, because it was the first urban club that was respected.
In the hip hop.
Yeah, and they had real stars in movies, and artists come through there, and it's crazy because so much respect and love for Edenville, such a small city. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing there, right? Especially in the terms of what type of nightlife came in by way of Heroes, like just so much, man. So many people came out of the Heroes. You know what I'm saying? In respect to JR, rest in peace. And
Right. The last time I was there was when they did a candlelight for JR.
oh yeah.
That's the last time I was in the
yeah,
area.
yeah, man, because that's where his career got started, man. Like,
Right.
oof, boy, Heroes is a man's a vibe. So
Right.
again,
There's one big party that Howard did. The Big Mac party
the big
at the
man.
skating ring.
Oh
Yeah,
Big
it was-
Craig Mack, the
yeah,
big
Big
old flag
Mac,
going on.
yeah.
I missed that show.
man.
Yeah, I was there. I was there for that.
You was
Yeah.
there for that?
Was that was the first one?
The first one when,
Okay,
when
without-
Biggie
when
when
he
canceled.
canceled, right.
Yeah.
Canceled.
Boy,
Yeah.
I think I know where this one's going.
Yeah. Let's go there.
Man, boy, yeah. Man. So funny enough, that's a skating rink. That used to be the skating
Skating
rink.
rink, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
Metro
right.
skating rink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so we had the concert lined up, of course, through Howard. He did he set it up. He's cool with OB and all those cats, and what's his name, Clark Kent. So
Okay.
So boom, Craig Mack and Biggie were supposed to be there. Craig Mack goes on, he does his thing. We find out that Biggie's not going to come. I hesitate even to this day when I'm saying this, because I think about the fact that we were on the stage and we already knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, we cannot tell these people that Biggie's not gonna come, because at the time, man, Biggie was it.
He was
You know
it.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Not only that,
Yeah.
where the skating ring was at,
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
The
That-
location.
the location
Yeah,
of the skating
it
ring.
was yeah.
Oh man, so boy, we were like, how do we? We were just trying to all think about how we're gonna say this, because for Ringer, again, this is where like he still could go back to Heroes, and he had this, you know what I'm saying, like he's Ringer, you know what I'm
Right.
saying, at the end of the
Yeah.
day. But for us, because we dealt with everybody hand to hand, this was the downfall to it. It's part of the reason probably why we didn't get too much into the club, to the concerts that much, because we didn't want to have to go back and tell everybody on the streets, when we saw them, like,
Right.
yo, he didn't come. Why not? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So anyway, we're DJing, we're trying to figure it out. Of course, Nasty's like, yo, I'm not gonna be up here when we tell these people that. And shit, as soon as we said something about it on the mic,
First bottle.
first
come.
bottle started coming. I was
Yep.
like, God damn.
I remember
Here
that.
we go. And it was just bottles and bottles.
Yep.
And the whole city, it's so crazy, because the people that were here back in the day, that's all they remember. Just bottles,
The
bottles,
bottles,
bottles.
yeah.
And yeah, man, it was rough. And I'll never forget, after that concert, when we finally got out of there, we went to not Denny's, but Perkins off of iDrive, at the corner of iDrive in Salt Lake. And we sat with Clark Kent, and we was like, and all he could say was, man, yo, he was supposed to come. And I hate to say this, but I believe, if I remember correctly, the story was, legitimately was that whole situation scenario between Tupac and Faith. And Biggie was shook.
Right.
He was that shit bothered him.
He was going through
He
the
was going
motions.
through it,
Yeah.
And he's from what I gathered out of the situation was that, at the end of the day, man, he's got emotions. He's human like anybody
No,
else.
absolutely.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
Right,
Try to
right.
perform music and be out there in front of
You know
people
what
when
Bleed
your
like
love
us.
is, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Yeah. So
Yeah.
so he just he respectively did it. Like, he called to set it up, and he was like, he canceled the show, or he canceled his portion of the show, and said, yo, I'm gonna come back down there. I got you guys for free. We'll come back and redo the show. Yeah. But the city wasn't trying to hear that.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Not that day.
Nah, not that day. Yeah.
Yeah, cause I ain't gonna front. Metro was a big venue, and the shit was packed out. You know what I mean? Redman was there too.
Yeah.
He was just walking around. You know what I mean? But it was a big deal, especially back then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We didn't have many big venues like that would accept hip hop in it.
That's
so,
the key.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was a big deal. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people came out. I'm sure people probably even came from Tampa. Like, who knows? And that's probably where the first bottle came from.
Man.
Who's that? Yeah,
yeah,
choose
yeah.
that.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that was definitely a big deal, man.
And the crazy part again is, I mean, Craig Mack wasn't, it wasn't like he wasn't
Yeah,
big,
he had
clearly.
3 big records.
Yeah, you know what I'm
saying?
saying? But it just, yeah, I mean, people were there for Biggie. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I
Yeah,
mean,
he was the headliner.
yeah,
He had 3 big records, but one of his records Biggie was featured on. So
Yeah.
then when you hear the remix, of
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
you can't. I don't
there
even
was
play.
no-
I never even played the original after that.
Really?
It was like, why?
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah, there was no way out of that, man. But it was, I think it was cool to be a part of that opportunity in respect to the show, and then of course the makeup show, and just have an opportunity to talk it through and figure out what was going on. And see, it wasn't like, because back then we didn't have social media, so it wasn't like we were able to get out and say,
Right, yeah.
hey, this is what happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we had to wait till somebody
You
came
go
to
behind the
us.
stage and text like,
Right. Yeah. We had to wait till
Big's
somebody.
not here tonight. Peace.
I'm out.
Yeah, that was of course with them big ass pages, the sky pages and stuff like that. So yeah, it was just, we didn't have, it just the vibe, like the way we communicate nowadays if somebody cancels is totally different the way it was back in the day.
Right.
You had to speak to somebody hand to hand and say, yo, look, the show was off because whoop de whoop.
Yeah.
You had to put the business out there. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
In order to gain that respect and keep that respect in the game out here, and that was big because, shoot.
But also, I think people were upset because remember, there weren't many hip hop parties,
Nah.
and people think a lot of people from New York live here now. Back then, people scatter around now because you got Point Siena, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
You got Kissimmee, you got Orlando.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got San Ramon, you got all these other different people moving to. But like before, like it was like in a range. We only had 407 back then.
Right.
Right. That's something.
Right?
Yeah.
They're close to 407. Now we got
yeah.
to think 407, 321,
321 was Brevard County at the time. I
Right.
remember correct. Yeah.
and there's another one right now. I think new coming that came
Six
out.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah, some
so-
crazy shit.
see?
Yeah.
689. So it's like,
Yeah.
oh, you cancel? Oh hell no.
Yeah, nah.
Right.
Yeah, man. Like it wasn't a good look. There's
Yeah,
no
and
other
just
way to
getting
say
out the crib too, especially at that age. You know what I
it.
mean? I
Whoa,
remember-
yeah.
I remember, to go back real quick, I remember one time I went to when CC used to do Jamaica Me Crazy, but at the time it was called Zuma Beach.
You want to beach on
That-
535?
No, that was what Beecham used to be called.
Oh, Beecham, okay.
It was called Zuma Beach first. And that shit was
So wait, Zuma Beach,
Zuma was so it used to be called, the original name is Beecham, right?
Beecham.
But then it went to Zuma Beach, and then
No, what was there one before? It was
Decos,
I think it was Decos.
Yeah.
Decos,
Yeah, it was
yeah.
Decos, yeah.
and then
Yeah, it was
then,
Decos.
then Taboo.
yeah.
and
Right,
then-
right. Yeah, it was Decos, yeah.
But I recall when you're talking about when CC knew.
Yeah, he used to do it there, and I think I was like 16 years old. My ass I snuck up in there, man.
Yeah, so it's funny. So as part of our, like, as time progressed, like when we used to go, we were big into the reggae thing as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So big up Mr. CC, the reggae ambassador from back in the day. Like we used to be in when Jamaican Me Crazy first started off. It was across the street from Universal Studios.
At the hotel.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
the little corner, and it was dope
Yeah.
because it had like a little area that was kind of like sandy, like kind of like if you were on a beach,
On the beach,
basically.
right, right.
Yeah, and they had a live band set up out there, and then OMB and I forgot who the other DJ was would play inside, and then CC would come in. Like it was dope. Man. It was a vibe. But you were supposed to be 21 to get in there. Man, I was in there. I was 17, I think, and Khaled was 14 or 15 ish, somewhere around there, and we just be hanging out in there because once CC knew. And we were always at Dolly One Stop Records and stuff like that. We were connected on that level, and then we just
Right.
what I'm saying, like it just kind of picked up from there, and it was CC the reggae ambassador for the Caribbean vibes that were here in Orlando. Then it was us for the hip hop, and and 8 Ball Productions, which is disco.
Disco, no.
and,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying, so yeah, that was man, those were the days.
Yeah, man.
That's when people partied for a reason.
Right.
People danced. It was no, I mean, it was still niggas standing up on the wall, but it was no, I ain't gonna say there wasn't beef, but there was, there was
beef, but
yeah, yeah, but people when they went to a party, I think a lot of it, like you said, is because like we were, like even when you guys were doing parties, like we were the only ones doing hip hop in Orlando,
Right.
Not radio hip hop, like
Right.
hip hop,
Hip-hop.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying, like, and now I know that term is broader now, but
Yeah, it's broader. They put a lot of genre of music into hip hop.
Into
Yeah,
hip hop, right.
Not really hip hop.
yeah, before for us it was just it was either from the East Coast and then there was the West Coast
Right.
thing, but even then, when you spoke to hip hop, from the West Coast, you typically just said West Coast music. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, with the exception of like Souls of Mischief and stuff like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but but for us, it was like, you know, it was in terms of the city in Central Florida area, man. Like, yo, when you guys did parties, when we did parties, like, and mixtape game, like, we were the only ones giving those that were from the tri-state area
Yeah.
something to listen to. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you know, enough love and big ups to 102 Jams from back in the day, the original when it started off. Twice as Nice and them, and of course Jimmy Jams, rest in peace, were doing their thing. But you know, it's radio, so they were forced to do what the radio had to do and get to the masses. That's why we never were really big on jumping into that radio world initially. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, it was like, yeah, that's cool and all, but it ain't what we doing over at the Rotary Club or at Lebanese Club. So
Yeah.
you can't play those. You couldn't play, you know, a Tribe Called Quest religiously on
Right.
the radio. You couldn't play a KRS record or the, you know, not
Or
at the
Black
time.
Moon or something like that. Or
Right,
Smith
right.
and Wesson.
Right, you couldn't
yeah.
play, you know, Boogie Down on like, you know, BDP on the radio. You wouldn't hear that, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Unless it went to like the Naughty by Nature level where it was like, you know, OPP or, you know, something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was different back in the day. So.
Right.
Right. You mentioned about the mixtapes. I got here DJ Caesar in '94.
What?
Yeah. Must be bootlegs. I don't have a cover for it.
Wow.
And then I got a Hitman. I think this is 90. I'm going blind. Even with my glasses on.
They spelled
So in
my
the
name
90s,
wrong
though.
though.
Hey.
Wow.
But I still have them. I got more to it. It's put away, but I used to
Put
those
away,
two
yeah.
out.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. I don't know if you got a tape recorder, but actually,
Yeah, I got tape. I got tape deck. I got
Oh,
to
right.
I keep
yeah.
a tape deck too.
Yeah,
I gotta hook it up.
Yeah, you're gonna have to dub these for me because wow.
to charge for that though, you know what I'm saying? And they classic too.
Yo,
and
yo,
they classic.
June
Like,
doesn't
I
change.
see.
Yo, you see how that happened? Like, he didn't even breathe. He was like, it was a charge for that.
Make
I'm
sure we
saying.
send you the invoice.
Yeah.
Send you the invoice for
Yeah.
that. We need some
true.
free brunch or something.
Damn. Yo, those are the man. So making mixtapes back in the day like that was, whew, man, a lot of just pausing. You know, putting the piece in or the tape over the hole or whatever, and then you know going back and redoing it. So for a lot of us, that's really what it was. And it's crazy because I used to get to a place where, you know what, I'm just gonna do a mixtape like I would if I was at a party, and I couldn't stop. So I just boom. I just
Straight through.
Yeah, I planned it out, and if something didn't work and the mix didn't sound right,
It is what it is. Yeah.
yeah, because I needed people to understand, like, yo, when you saw me at a party, this is what you're gonna get. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so and I know that probably didn't put me on the top of the mixtape game as a result of that, but all good, man. I'm not really, my thing has always been and still is like, I'm not here for the, you know, I need to be on the top of the game and be the most known person. I'm not here for that. I'm here because I love music. I love hip hop, and that's what it is. You know what I'm
So
saying?
who were some mixtape DJs that you like really respected and listened to, or look forward to them dropping something?
Man, I'm gonna go back and say this again, man. Nasty. Like,
Okay.
Yeah. So if locally, right? You know,
Okay.
yeah, and then honestly, man, it's gonna sound crazy, but I was gonna say something. Okay, but so I say Tony Touch's tapes as well. Like
Right.
his mixtapes was, man. So I have a lot of respect for the other DJs, like, you know, Doo-Wop and all them cats out
Right.
there. Ron G, I look forward to Ron G tapes too. Then I remember Kid Capri did a summer. I forgot what it was called, but it was something summer. I said, yo, my man, Kid Capri is on a whole nother level, right?
Yeah.
But again, like really, man, like locally, I just kept it local because one thing that I never, you know, and it's no disrespect to anybody who took on the New York, I mean, that was from New York, that did, you know, that was the DJ or whatever, that lived down here, is that I needed to have my own sound, you know what I'm saying? So I felt like if I continuously listened to mixtapes from up north, then I couldn't get my own vibe going and my own sound. So I would have a different flavor. I don't talk much on my mixtapes, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't talk much in the club for that matter. So I could never put on the same sound and kind of create the same energy that the tapes from up north did. So I was good with that, you know what I'm saying? So it gave me an opportunity to create my own vibe and my own sound, which is why I say when I listened to Nasty's tapes, I loved it because in addition to the fact that he was a musician, he understood how music was supposed to sound and respect to the flow of the mixtape. He just didn't talk. So he didn't, you know what I'm saying? He had drops. He talked a little bit to give his shout outs. And that was it. The majority of the time you just heard the music, and that's what it was for me. So it wasn't like, you know, I just never really had an interest in just getting all these crazy mixtapes back in the day from, you know, from the stores or whatnot. So I, you know, and if you ever heard my mixtapes back in the day, you wouldn't, it would probably mirror that, you know what I'm saying? Like I just wasn't I wasn't that guy.
Right.
I didn't like tracking stuff. You know, it's dope. I enjoy the creations that come from it.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't like tracking it because then again, when you got to the club, people expectation would be,
That record you tracked and you can't track it
and I'll
anymore.
never forget,
Right.
you know, the first time I heard Clue live, you know, DJing here in Orlando at Firestone. I said, "What the hell is wrong? Like this dude can't." I'm gonna fuck it. I'm gonna say it. This is video.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's
said,
video, there's
yo.
order, there's every.
The fuck? This nigga ain't DJing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know, again, respect to the man because of what he's done and his game on that level. I have no disrespect to that. But as a DJ that was, you know, like we were grinding in the club and like,
Right,
you know,
right.
doing that stuff, I couldn't see that dude, man. I couldn't.
Yeah, we saw. I think I saw him for the first time. I think it was in Tampa. We went out there to see him, and you know, you hearing him, it's like, okay, he's not doing a mixtape. Why do you sound like he's doing a mixtape? You know
Yeah,
what
I
I'm saying?
think that, you know, I've heard DJs. I'm not gonna say no names, but I heard them say that some DJs are just what they even call them. They call themselves stop DJs. There's no, you know, they just slamming records in. There's no real, you know what I mean, and there is a place for it because they have a fan base. You know what I mean? But then you have those that are super creative. But there's a niche for that too, because when you go to a club, the attention span is just not there. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they're not respecting the creative aspect of it.
Sure.
They just want to hear the hottest songs right now.
Especially now.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
especially now,
I think that's where it was rough with some of the mixtape DJs in that, to that extent, where it's like they want to do a mixtape live.
Yeah,
You know what I
man.
mean? And they have their fan base for it. You know what I'm saying?
But that's cool. Like, because as long as they can come into a club and DJ and literally DJ from record to record,
Right.
then I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
But when the first time I saw Clue, if I remember correctly, he had reel to reel in there, some shit like that. I was like, yo, it just
Saying that studio shit he stole from
it
Sessions.
just wasn't.
You know what
It's, yeah, shit. So I'll leave it at that. It is what it is. I said what I said. So you know what I'm saying. But again, I get my biggest thing has been, you know what I'm saying, like with the mixtape game, like when whatever I heard Ron G do on the mixtape, when I saw him in the club, that was Ron G.
I'm saying? Right.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
when I see Kid Capri in the club,
was
that's
Kid
Kid Capri. Boy, was that Kid Capri. You know, I'm talking 30 crates of records of Kid
Yeah,
Capri.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
and amazing how he moves through his records so fast. You would think that, you know, if you weren't seeing it, you would think that was pieced together, chopped up, or whatever.
Right.
He really does that. So
He's a stack. I used to see him. I think, oh no, he's gonna fuck that record up.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
stacking.
Popcorn,
Yeah.
stuff.
I was
and
like,
they would skip, and
yeah,
he would just be,
he would just keep on like
Well,
that.
hey, and that's
He would pile like 3 or 4 records on top of each other, and then they start
And then pull 'em,
popping,
pull 'em,
and they
pull
start
'em.
skipping,
Yeah.
and he don't give next.
yeah. But
You know what I'm saying?
he
Yo,
makes it work though.
if anybody, he needs a check from Techniques because he put them shits through the mill.
Oh my God.
Stacking records on top like that, like
He put work on them. You know, and conceptually, I think he got that from back in the day. You know, those big. They're like old school record players that were built into like a table.
Yeah.
And
With the TV and everything.
yeah, and they have like a little plastic piece that sits on top. You put the 45s on it or the album, and then after one drops and it
Oh,
finishes it, the
there's
arm
another
comes up and then the other one
One drops.
drops.
just drops it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where that concept comes from because he used to stack them up. You know what I'm
Stack
saying?
'em up.
Yeah, but he did his thing, man. He still does. Yep.
And he always had somebody. If I remember, he would put him on the side, and he had somebody that worked with him that would just put the shits away.
Right.
Two
At the,
people.
yeah,
Yeah.
at the end, yeah.
2 people. Like,
Last night, yeah.
yeah.
That's that respect,
Yeah.
man. And he's
Yeah.
the first DJ to have a tour bus.
Oh, word.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember
Yep.
that. Yeah. Yo,
Yeah,
Kid
man.
Capri, man, he's
Yes,
man,
salute to
He
Kid
put in
Capri.
some work, man.
some work, boy. That's why when, you know, man, whenever this talk, at the end of the day, I think a lot of cats don't know what he's done. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand the groundwork that he's put into it.
Yeah.
At least in respect to the newer cats, right? They just can't understand where he's coming from. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think what's fucked up about hip hop is right away you an old head.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
You know
You're
what I'm
OG,
saying?
you're
Like,
old head.
Who's this
You
old
don't know
head?
this shit.
He don't know what he doing. You know what I mean? And that's what's another one of the terrible aspects of hip hop because you're aged. You know what I mean? Any other genre of music,
They don't care.
they don't care. You know what I mean? Like Dolly Parton still performing, Kenny Rogers, like
Yeah.
you know what I
Chitty's
mean?
all out on there. They still
Yeah,
performing.
shit, you know what I mean? And still selling out coliseums. Like they don't say, "Oh, senior citizen, so and so," or no, it's
Only in hip hop.
only in hip hop.
Yeah, that's a big fact. You know, we're very judgmental when it comes to stuff like that. Man. Yeah, man. Jeez.
So question: your relationship with Nasty right now still good?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Nasty's doing his thing, stuff like that.
Yeah, man.
Talk to him daily, or
I try to, man.
busy.
You know, yeah, we both. I mean, we're older now, so
Right. Family
you know what I'm
man.
saying. Yeah.
Grandfather,
You know,
you are.
Yeah, and then he's got his kids, so you know what I'm saying, like. But we definitely, you know, excuse me, we definitely are always communicating as much as possible. He calls me from time to time, and it's, you know, it'll be random things. So I think we started off as we were generally good friends. You know what I'm saying, like, and so that's kind of like I hate to compare it to a relationship, but it's like that. You know what I'm saying, like.
No, it's like that. If you want to be a good friend, it's a relationship.
Yeah. So
You know what I mean?
So the business aspect, everything. Oh, that dude right there, boy, he's a funny guy when it comes to money. Like,
Oh
yo, he don't
shit,
play.
he's Jew.
Oh, man, you
He's,
have a dollar.
he's always been like
He's
that.
always been like that.
That's how I was laughing. Cause we talked about it before. I remember when he had that rodeo.
The burgundy
He
one?
rode-
The
Oh,
burgundy
my
one.
God.
Huh?
He rode
He
that
rolled that
shit
shit too.
Firestone.
On Odio.
Yeah, literally, they had the road blocked off. Thank God, because when he was trying to pull off, and it was a stick shift too at that.
No, I don't think it's stick shift.
Huh? No,
think it was stick-
It was
no,
stick
he-
shift. It was
yo,
stick
he
shift.
had a stick
Yeah.
shift.
I remember it
yeah.
was.
Yeah, and his shit broke down on his way out of Firestone when he's making crazy money.
Crazy man. Yeah, he would pull up to the front to take his records out, and I'm like, yo, Nasty, what the? That shit still runs.
Gotta-
still runs.
yeah,
Yeah.
Gotta respect that, man.
I can't even be mad at him like that. I wish I had that freaking discipline.
And then before that, he had this little brown. I can't even remember what the name of it. It was a little hatchback, and he used to run that bad boy up to the club. He'd be like, "Yo, I'm just gonna park around the corner." You know what I'm saying? Like, of course you are, because I'm not gonna be seen. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, nah. He just, you know, that was his thing. But look at him now, though. You know what I'm saying? So it paid off because all of his
He
money.
paid off, but still, he's
No, he's still
doing
that
his-
way.
Yeah, he's still that way.
He put all his money into his equipment in his studio, and boom.
Yeah, it paid off. He invested it
Himself.
into himself. So
Right.
Yo, when he used to work at McDonald's, I think I told you this in the yo, we used to do parties. He worked at the dopest McDonald's in Orlando at the time. You know,
I drive one.
Yeah.
They
And
changed that shit up a couple of times, I think.
he would pass out his mixtapes up there and what have you, or sell them at the time. But you know, he legit.
Did he do the drive-through?
No, he was honestly.
I can imagine hearing
yeah.
Nasty in the drive-through.
yeah, right.
Welcome to McDonald's, man. Take your order.
What the fuck you said?
Nah, he was a chef, or he was a cook at the time. So, you know, he used to, man, we would, after the parties, like, you know, we'd get, you know, as kids, we would get good money back then. You know what I'm saying? So,
There was a real dollar menu back then.
right.
If that, because cheeseburgers were like 29 cents or some shit.
Yeah.
Like that. Damn.
So we would
all-
get, after we did our party at Lebanese, for example, we come home, we count the money, whatever, and we do our splits. And man, if there was like, we would fight
50
over
cents.
no 33 because it was three of us, so we would fight over that, right? And you know, it was just a thing. But then we would go, like, you know, I go into Nasty's room and we'd be checking out some shit or whatever, listening to some music, and he'd open his drawer and it's nothing but checks, uncashed checks,
Yeah, on cash checks. Yeah.
in the envelope from McDonald's. I'm like, yo, what are you doing?
Shit's
Yeah,
expired. Like,
Right, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But he would get it. He know where they at, and he would just cash them before it expired. But he would use that. That's his way of saving up his money to get his equipment.
oh, because he didn't have cash in hand, he wouldn't spend the shit.
Well, yes, yeah.
Right.
I guess that would be his mindset. Yeah,
Right.
and so, but he didn't play with that, man, and he saved his money. He wouldn't put the money in the bank account, but it was already in check form, so you don't need to keep it in cash either. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm sure he had cash around somewhere. Of course, he's not gonna tell me.
Right.
But man, I saw that and I was like, yo, I can't do nothing but respect this dude. So whenever we got into it, I'd always tell people like, yo, man, just leave that dude alone, man. Give him the extra penny. It's all good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which I need to say this, man. Let me go back and say this. When we first started Hitman Productions, there was three of us, but there was another guy, another partner. His name was Julian Rowe.
Okay.
Julian
Smooth
Rowe.
J Smooth is the
Okay,
name.
Jay. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
And so he was our fourth partner, but he wasn't a DJ. You know what I'm saying? And this dude, his manager at the time, Sherman, we all came together collectively after our first party, and then that's how we cultivated the Hitman Productions concept. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah, we had somebody in our team who was stingy as fuck too. Fuck, yo, stingy mom, yo.
yeah.
Correct. We got stories of that stingy fuck.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get into that.
Stingy motherfucker, man.
Yeah,
You know who he is.
Yeah. But yeah, man, everything is good between Nasty and I. We send number love. You know, again, I give him a space. He gives me mine. But I'm saying like he's doing his thing because he's been producing a lot. Excuse me, and then doing shows and been on the road with Khaled a lot.
Yeah, I think part of being a good friend is like you don't have to speak every day.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But you know, like eventually you're gonna have a lunch or
Right.
Right.
you know, and it should just pick up, you know,
Where you left off at.
where you left off.
Absolutely.
And I go back to this because a lot of people don't know mine and Junebug's history.
Right.
And that we known each other since '93.
Right.
Around there, and you know, at the time, you know, sometimes you may spread apart or whatever it is, or just do separate things.
Right.
But when you come back together, you know, the magic is still there, or the friendship is still there. You know, that's how you know it's a good good, healthy friendship.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
So
Yeah, man.
I mean, shit. I mean, I used to own a hookah lounge. I need a DJ. Home
Yeah,
call.
he called me
I'll
right away.
first. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Word.
And stuff like that. I mean, those are people you always need around you and stuff like that.
Yeah. Wow.
What's your relationship with Khaled?
What's my what?
Relationship with Khaled?
Everything is cool. Man.
I mean,
So-
you did a lot of shit way back together. Like you did
Yeah.
more shit with Khaled than you did with Nasty.
Back in the day.
Back in the day,
Yeah. Because
Like if I saw Caesar, I saw
Khaled.
Khaled.
Yeah.
So Khaled, I saw Caesar.
Yep.
I think Nasty was just counting his. I don't know. Nasty was counting his fucking
Nah,
checks.
dude, counting the pennies.
Yeah, she's stupid. Yeah, so I mean, because I for obvious reasons, like from a level of like we started DJing together, so it was like you know we're on the same level, and of course Nasty was the guy, you know what I mean? So
Nasty had the
and-
key. He had the production key. He was a producer, so he was like just a DJ.
Yeah.
Because they had the other extra.
Absolutely,
Right.
but he was a
Aspect,
dope
yeah.
DJ. So
Oh no,
you know
no,
what
no,
I'm saying?
not,
yeah,
not
absolutely.
taking that
Yeah.
from him at
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
I'm saying, but he had also extra.
Yeah,
was
yeah.
Nasty, he was just a DJ.
Yeah.
He also did this shit too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, so you know, with Khaled and I, like we had always been running together because at the time, like he wasn't able to drive, so I used to drive him around a lot, you know, stuff like that. And then we live around the corner from each other, so it was like you know in Dr. Phillips area, so that was easy. It was kind of a no brainer, right?
Right.
As time progressed, you know what I'm saying, like we were always good. Of course, through my time, I went away to college and the military and went on tour and stuff like that. So we were always good through that portion. I would say probably as he's gotten bigger, it's not that our relationship originally, and I'm gonna get to the like where we're
Yeah,
like,
no,
to this
take your
day.
time, man.
Yeah.
But it's not that our relationship, like you said, like you know, it's like one of the things where because he's bigger, he was out doing his thing. He's always on the road,
Right.
Miami, what have you. So whenever we connected, it was always love. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
and we picked right back up where we left off. We had some jokes, whatever. We used to always we used to always go to Waffle House on I Drive. I'm sorry, not I Drive, on Kirkman Road. So that was always good. Then we move into after I come home from college. I see 03, 04ish, yeah. So I come home from college. I'm doing my thing. It makes sure Metropolis days, you know.
Right.
And then we started doing Tavern on the Lake, and then this
Okay.
is where things started, you know, kind of getting. And Khaled by then is, you know, the Terror Squad. He's,
Right.
you know,
Big Bull, Big Door, Big Bull.
yeah, he's all
Yeah.
over the place, right? But then he starts going into his own thing. Of course, we the best music and developing that, and that's when his, you know, the core of his career has started really blowing up. You know what I'm saying? Let's see, we went to a couple mix show summits down
Big Show Power Summit.
yeah, down in
In Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico, yeah.
the Puerto Rico one, and then DR. I think was the last one that we were there with when I was with him, and it was me, him, and Nasty in the room. So he was doing, you know, I think that's when We Taking Over was coming out. Something. Like that.
Okay.
I can't remember all the exact records. But I'll never forget. Like it was like Jeezy's birthday because the summit always fell on that same weekend.
Right.
And you know we was in the room and he was bugging about his relationship, whatever. So
Right.
and Jeezy called him like, "Yo, come through. We're having they got a little surprise party." So he was getting the money together to pay off Lil Wayne, I believe it was, something like that for his role in something. So I'm
the
sitting there like,
person,
"Yo, my man, you really doing well right now." You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was proud of him. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like,
proud moment. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. So anywho, we moved through all of that. We move into the day where we're doing Tavern on the Lake, and you know, it's for those that don't know, Tavern on the Lake was in Metro West. It was crazy vibes.
You didn't have your fucking pop your collar. You couldn't get into the front
Right.
door.
Yeah,
you
we
couldn't
made
wear
a
the
lot of-
Timberlands. I was
None of that.
damn.
Yeah, we made a lot of people mad back in the
Yeah,
day. So that's what started becoming an issue, right? So I think Allen Iverson came. Well, I think the first one we turned down was Allen Iverson. Yeah. So we had a thing we were known where, unfortunately, I'm not gonna say unfortunately, like if you came to the club, you didn't have right gear on, you weren't coming in.
You weren't coming in.
Period. Right. And we dealt with a lot of people that weren't they didn't really care about who was big in the industry or not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They were there for the
party,
party.
for the
You know what
party,
I'm
to have
saying?
a good time.
And Point Blank was always setting it off, and it was just it was dope. You know what I'm saying? Like we did what we wanted to do. Essentially, we recreated the Hitman party days back in the day,
Right.
because we kept it old school, kept it funky, and it wasn't really much of. I don't know that we may played some dirty stuff like Luke or something
Little bit,
like
yeah,
that.
no, it wasn't much. It
Yeah,
was much.
but-
it was always every time I went, it was a good vibe.
Yeah,
Right.
so we were tight on the dress code thing because we didn't want any problems, we didn't want any issues. I think Blue Martini was kind of doing it at the time as well. We were growing up, we were being mature. You know what I'm saying? So boom, we got the party going. Probably 3 or 4 years into the party, the line's crazy,
Right.
wrapped around the building. Khaled came into town and he hits me up and he's like, "Yo," and I think he hit up Nasty first and he hits me up and come to the spot, later on tonight, whatever. We're in town for the studio, what have you. Cool. We let him do his thing. He came to the club and I told him, I was like, "Yo, man, come on, man. Just, come on, man. Just represent, right?" So he came to the spot, he did what he did, and we had a good time. But we also said, next time you come back, make sure, whatever. And without exposing too much of the situation, the conversation, like, we'll just say there became some suicidal differences after, for the second time he came back to the
Second
club.
time.
And I'm only saying that because I'm respect the dudes that,
No,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I
Of course,
understand.
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I guess at the end of the day, like, there were some differences. I just say that. And some things were said, and at the end of the day, I always have expressed, and there was other partners involved with it, but I'll take my ownership of my part of it.
Right.
And that Callow's my boy, it's my nigga. Like, at the end of the day, like, his family was, I love his family, right? Like his sister, his younger sister, his mom, his pops. So, it was kind of one of them situations where I was like, all right, what are we talking about right now? You know what I mean?
Right. Why we here?
Right. We need to move through things, but at the same time, I understand the man's got a big projects going on and stuff like that. So I always kept it funky, kept it 100 with him, and I felt like he should do the same. And I think from that we established our boundaries. I guess best way to say it, right? So like as in the radio game, there's when music, he releases music and stuff like that. When business has to happen, it was business, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like,
right.
and things have been business. And then from time to time, there's been some connections here and there, you know what I'm saying? But like, I hear he mentioned me in the book, in its own ways, but I know that there are some things that are still out there and, that need to be worked through. And
Right.
I've told Nancy this, you know what I'm saying? But there's some things that just need to be worked through, period. You know what I mean?
Right,
But, I'm one of those people, like, in life, period, I just tell people, like, yo, listen, don't let life pass you to where something that may have been a misunderstanding would prevent you from seeing somebody before they go. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't ever let that happen. So I've always been, let's just say I've been continuing to make something like that, stay what it is on my behalf. And then, I say on his family and on his behalf as well, like we still have love for each other. If we see each other in the streets, I promise you this, like when that whole 50 drama and all that stuff was going down and the things, the videos that were being exposed at the time, I had a problem with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that was, amidst of whatever may have been going on.
Right.
If I see his family out in the streets and something is going down and something goes wrong, I'm there.
Right.
Like that's my, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and it ain't because Khaled is who he is right now. It has nothing to do with that. It's because that's my nigga. That's who I grew up with. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's who we started off DJing with.
When he was
So
16, he was 14, you in the club, you waiting, you know what I'm saying?
it's a little bit different than that age wise, but yeah.
Right, but you know what I'm saying, though? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's not, it's day one. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
absolutely. And I'm not going to like nothing is going to change that. So, some people are saying this and some people say that. Like, there's times where I've heard about people hit me up like, yo, how come you ain't, Khaled ain't look out for you, this, that.
Right.
No, it's not. First of all, that's our business. You know what I'm saying? That's
Right.
number one. Secondly, Khaled, when he first started blowing up in Miami, he always offered for me to go down there and do work with him. That was my decision. You know what I'm saying? I didn't go down there that often because I had a family that I was trying to, build and you know what I'm saying, do things on my own. And I had college because, I, unlike everybody else, I chose to make a decision to go to college and do my thing. And I was in the Air Force. And
Serve for the country,
yeah.
too.
So, so for me, my priorities were different. And it's just, and I'm a behind the scenes dude. I'm not a, I don't really
Right.
care about all that shit. Like when I was on tour, like we used to go to, like, I was on tour with some big people, you know, with NSYNC and them coming up, and
Right.
LFO, rest in peace, Rich, and man, when we went to the club, they were always like, "Yo, come chill in VIP." I'm like, "Nah, man, I'm in the center of the floor because I need to feel what's going
Right,
on
what's
out
going
there."
on.
Right.
So when I go up the stage to do my thing, I can do my thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's just not my style. So whenever it came to certain scenarios with being in certain environments, I pass.
Right,
You know what
right.
I'm saying? Like, I'm good on that. I just need to, if it's got music that I'm enjoying, I'm in the corner and my head is nodding. And sometimes I go to venues and clubs or parties of people, and like, you know, they're like, "Yo, why don't you hit me up when you're coming in?" Nah, dog. You doing an event. You supported me. I'm paying to get in your door. I don't care what status I'm at.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and then when I walk upstairs, I'm just gonna chill. I'm a vibe. If
Yeah.
if you're doing your thing, if you're DJing, I'm not gonna be, you know, all up in you know, in the booth trying to say what up and all that stuff.
Right.
Nah, man, you're doing your thing. I came to your party to support and listen to some good music. You know what I'm saying? Because I know
Yeah.
what I'm gonna get. You know, so
Right.
I chill. You know, that's that. But again, to bring it back, because I'm not one of them people that like to circle around and shit.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
To bring it back, like, you know, Khaled and I, if whenever he reaches out, if I ever reach out to him, it's love, and that's why, you know, we like to keep it that way. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy. Let me just cut you off, but you come from a line of 3 DJs in your crew. You know, to
Yeah.
us it was 3.
Right.
We come the same way from 3.
Right.
You have a person who takes every penny. We had the same person.
Right.
But I also have a fallout with that same person as
Right.
well. And again, you know, if I see this dude, what's up, how you doing?
Right.
But there's something that's between, I don't know what we want to call it.
Right.
But the intentions in there that we had to fix.
Yeah.
But like you said, I got love for the kid. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
You know, I reach out, you know, when I lost somebody recently, I reach out to the kid, making sure he was good.
Right.
Stuff like that. So it's like, you know, you always got love for that person.
Right.
But you just
gotta
gotta
move
meet
on.
somewhere and try and figure the shit out, you know?
Yeah, and you know, it's one of them things, man. Again, like I said, like, you know, I don't, you know, I don't want to taint nobody's, you know, success. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely not here to say that. Like,
Right.
You know, at the end of the day. But if there's, you know, just because I know there's rumors out there and people ask, you know, here locally at least, especially, right? Yo, how come this and how come that?
Yeah,
Look, man.
why you not part of We the
Yeah,
Best, all that crazy
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I chose not to be.
Right.
Yeah, and that's
That's
and
simple.
the only person that needs to know is you.
Yeah.
You know, whatever everybody else's opinion has, it don't even matter. 'Cause
opinion.
Yeah.
You know your truth.
Yeah, and trust me, every big milestone that he's had, I've texted him, "Yo, my brother, salute." You know what I'm saying? That's respect because he's doing a lot
That's
of big
respect.
things.
That's respect.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. He's
that
doing a
shows
lot
your
of-
character.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I
He's-
think eventually y'all will have the conversation or whatever it is, and it's something that definitely needs to be had.
absolutely.
You know,
absolutely,
and
yeah.
when it happens, hopefully it's not, you know, too late or whatever it is, and it's something that could come into fruition. And
Absolutely, and you know, and that's one of the things again to bring it back to Nasty, like, you know, with him being the middleman, I guess the best way to say it, right? Because you know he's still
He's the middleman
Right.
between both of y'all. So,
right,
yeah.
and so you know he you know he gets it, and we've mended our ways, you know, through the like we not mended our ways because we're never bad, but I'm just saying like we've had the conversations about way things, you know, it would be nice if things would be the way, you know,
They used to
that were
be.
back in the back in the day, but you know at the end of the day, like he's Khaled is in a different position now. He you know what I'm saying, like, and I'm not saying that this is not important. And I'm not important, and I'm not trying to take nothing away from that. But the reality is, like, he's in a different position right now, like, and that type of thing and that type of scenario, like, he's got to move to what he's got going on in his life.
Yeah.
He's got to support his team, you know, take care of his team, and do what he's got to do. And I have a thing going on here too. So at the end of the day, like, yo, if like you said, like we come across each other and connect, reconnect or whatever, we talk. Everything is peace. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's where we got to go from it. So.
Yeah, I think everybody has to, you know, I don't want to get into too much detail right now, but you know, I had, you know, little issues with, you know, some DJs or whatever it is, and sometimes I'm not petty,
Right.
and I don't hold grudges really, you know, to an extent,
Right.
Because I'm also a man where if I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean? But also, I'm not the perfect man.
Right.
So I tell people all the time, if I do something to you that you don't like, I may not know. So just
Right.
let me know. Like, yo, I wasn't feeling that. But I apologize. I didn't know you didn't like that. You know, I won't do it again.
Right.
But if I don't know, I'm gonna continue to do it unknowingly. You understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So like, you know, things like that, and those are good as men conversations that you need to have, and it's just keeping it 100 with each other. It's not being disrespectful of anything like that. It's just like, you know, we all have our likes and our dislikes.
Right.
Some people like take jokes or snapping on each other. Some
Right.
people don't.
Right.
Or I don't like the way you eat your Big Mac or some
Yeah,
nonsense like that. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like it
yeah.
could be something like that, but I don't know. You know what I mean? So sometimes you got to let me know what I'm doing wrong so that we can fix it. Because if you don't let me know,
Fuck you then. That's why I say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
gonna keep on going.
I'm
you
the
know what I'm saying?
opposite.
Yeah.
I'm like, you got a problem?
Right.
What
But
is
all
it?
right, let's
Talk
let's-
about it. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like, let's talk about
Yeah,
it. You know what I'm saying?
we're grown. At the end of the day, it's communication. You know what I mean?
And again, like, and I'll say this, man, as a, to kind of wrap it up, like, there were some words that were exchanged, and that was, he kept it funky, and he told me how he felt and about some of the things, and then excuse me, we talked about it, and there's some level of disagreement. You know what I'm saying? And because my partners at the time at the venue, we had talked about the situation, and I said, yo, my man, like at the end of the day, like
That's your bread and butter too. At
Right.
that time too.
That's the key.
Right.
Boom. So, and I'm not in this, I chose not to be, but this is my entrepreneur thing, just like what we used to do back in the day.
Yeah.
And if somebody can't respect that, then, and I said it to him specifically, then we need to have a talk, and and either keep it moving, or because we know each other, let's talk about it and figure out why. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's I think that's the approach that everybody needs to have with business. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
But again, man, I say at the end of the day, because I know there's rumors, and I've seen some other interviews from him, where my name was brought up and then the conversation was avoided.
Was
Like,
silence, right, yeah,
you
it
know what I'm
was
saying?
avoided.
Yeah. And somebody has come to me and be like, yo, how you feel about that? I don't feel nothing about
well,
it.
I
Like,
think it's
yeah.
it's good and bad, because maybe he's like, the person that's asking is none of your business, right? You can
Right.
take it like that, or he don't want to comment on it because, like I said, it's none of their business.
Right.
It's a conversation that you and him need to have. So at the end of the day, the way the press is and the media, and just they take shit out of context right away.
Right.
There's
Right.
one little word in there that he said this one word,
and then
Right,
flip
right.
it.
and then they flip it. You know what I mean? So you got you gotta. I'm a always look on the positive side of things. That's just me. I talk about the universe, vibrations,
Right,
vibes, like
right.
that spirits. Like that's me. So sometimes someone's silence could be either a sign of respect,
Right.
because they don't want to say anything disrespectful,
Sure,
or sometimes
sure.
you just shoot from the hip and you say something, and you think about like,
Right.
damn, I shouldn't have said that.
Right,
You know
right,
what I mean?
right,
So
right.
yeah.
And that's the thing, like, and and to bring it back to the city, for example, and respecting the DJ conversation, is that
Right.
that one thing I will say about him is that whenever he comes back to Orlando, or if anybody from Orlando that he knew back in the day sees him out there, he's always going to remember you, always. To my knowledge. Now,
Right.
if somebody's, I've never seen, like, I've heard about different situations, scenarios, and it's always been that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know that I've ever seen somebody say, yo, I saw Khaled, and, we was, I was waving at him, he just disrespected me and just kept it moving. Nah, that's one thing I will say, you're not going to see that from him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think too, in respect to that, he's on a different level at the end of the day. You know how many people he's seeing every day,
Every day, and
you know,
people
man,
trying to get in and
he
do-
may just miss past you, and it's not nothing personal. It's just it's so much going through and what's happening in his life and what's going on that he may miss you. If you're in a crowd or something like that, and he's walking through or whatever it is, he's gonna miss someone. It's
Yeah.
not. And it's
That's
not
natural.
a personal thing, Yeah, it's a
that's
natural.
natural.
But anyways, let's just move on.
Yeah,
from
yeah,
that
Move on
shit.
from that. Yeah, let's
So
move on from that.
is there any artists or anything you working with right now?
Currently, man, I just, it's funny because I have been, some artists have come at me and asked me, help them out with different projects, whatever, and stuff, and things to that extent. But I have really kind of like just backed away from that, because if I don't, like, when I see people trying to do the music and they're not really trying to do the music, it bothers me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to be doing something, go all in with it. Don't be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just, I need that. I need to see that grind and understand what you're trying to do, because we did it as DJs.
Right.
Yeah.
So it bothers me when you're not doing that. You know what I'm
You
saying?
have it so much easier now.
That part, you know what I mean? Like, so I have an artist that, I fuck with, this guy Corey from college. Like, so one of the things I did when I went to Tuskegee, is I took the brand that we had for Hitman Productions. I took that name and I established it up there in Tuskegee as well. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So, with that came DJ Scream. A lot of people know him from Hoodrich
Right.
DJ. DJ Scream. It was myself, him, and then this other. Well, we were the two main DJs, and then we were basically the head of the Hitman up there in Tuskegee, right? And so we had a bunch of people that work with us and were partners with us when we did parties and stuff like that. So one of those guys, his name is Adverbs, what would he call him back in the day? He was a break dancer. He's from Chicago, and he also raps. So we used to do a lot of stuff around the campus, the yard, mixtapes, whatever. So once we graduated, he ended up moving down here to Florida, and he still he started getting into the production game. And he started rapping. He got, he still raps. So he kind of let the b-boy thing fall off. You get older, you know what I'm saying? Bones don't work the same way they used to be.
Right.
But I still rock with him because the shit that he used to spit was hard. You know what I'm saying? And he represented what the culture that I was embodying. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely, I started fucking with him. So, but I've told him, it's just like I tell you guys now, like, yo, my man, like, if I'm going to work with you and I'm going to push you, I need you to grind. Like, you've got to you can't just be sporadic and popping in and popping out and popping in. So that was my biggest thing. So in terms of me putting a stamp on somebody and working with them in that level, he's been really the main one. And that's, outside of that.
He's in Florida now, you saying? He's out here now?
No, actually, he's in Colombia now.
Colombia.
Yeah, but, he's living that life.
Okay.
He's living that good life out there. But he's a good dude, man, at the end of the day. He's a dope artist. He understands the culture. And yeah, that's where we at with it. But other than that, I can't say that I really have some other artists that have put stamps on and promote. Not that I'm opposed to it. I just haven't
Found
really,
that person.
Yeah.
Come across that person.
Yeah.
So, your record collection, how big is that?
It's big. Yeah, at least that's what she said. No, but yeah, it's man,
That's why you was in trouble. See?
Yeah, I know, right? I don't know that I. Okay, so I got. So when
Do you have one room of records, 2 rooms of record, a garage? You know what I'm saying? That's.
Oh, well, I have a garage. I have half of the garage and a studio full of records, and within the studio, it's 2 walls, and then extra records, still in the bags and stuff like that.
Are you still buying vinyl?
Nah, man, the vinyl prices are crazy right now.
Yeah.
Especially out here. But
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, like, in terms of like doing like old school and like buying some, like doing some research and stuff like that and finding some records, some classics. If I come across something, I'm buying it. You know what I'm saying? As long as it's in good condition, I'm taking it.
Especially overseas when you be touring and stuff like that. So that's the best time to get those good records.
I never forget me and Nasty went to Germany, and that's the first thing I thought about. I was like, yo, I gotta go to a record store. And it's kind of stupid because if you really think about it, like, to bring records back from Germany,
That's
you
a
know
whole
what that
extra
is?
charge. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but man,
I leave my clothes behind, bring the records.
Yeah. I'll mail the clothes.
So funny, man. When I was in the Air Force, we went to Korea. That was like they asked me what I wanted to ship over there, and I was like, my turntables, my records, and you have weight limitations and stuff like that. So they were like, well, you can't take all this stuff and your clothes, and I was like, yo, at the end of the day, I only need my BDUs for working on the yard, and
right.
I just
That's
need my
it.
turntables,
You need
my
turntables.
records. So I legit had nothing else that I took over there, and just took my turntables and records, and that was like. Was the best thing I ever did, because you're in Korea. You there's some dope DJs out there, by the way.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
But yeah, man. But in terms of vinyl, yeah, man. I still keep a lot of it. I'd let some of the because when you're radio, you get a lot of
Triples and quadruples. Yeah.
stuff that's just nonsense sometimes.
Yep,
You know what I'm saying? So, love Def Jam, but boy, they used to send us some records.
They spent a lot of money on promotion. That's for sure.
And they didn't go nowhere. So, so I let some of those like triples and quadruples go. Put them onto some cats that were still trying to get up in the DJ game, and I keep everything else, man. I keep the doubles of the singles and doubles of albums, because some of the album cuts weren't on the singles. So,
Cuts, right.
you can't, it wasn't like Serato where you just push a button and you got 2 versions of a record.
Right.
So yeah.
Do you remember the first vinyl you bought, actually paid for?
You said paid for.
First one you paid for, right?
It's gonna laugh when you say this. It's the Rappin' Duke.
The revenue.
Oh, damn.
So you think you're
I can't
bad
believe
with-
you like that shit too, we did.
Yeah.
That was on the radio.
Yeah,
heavy.
that was just happening on the radio.
So you think
Brad
you're
Lux used to
bad
play the
with
shit
your
out of that
rap?
record.
Well, I'll tell you, Pilgrim, I started the crap. Yeah, man, that was my first one. Yeah, and then that was my first single, my first vinyl album. This is gonna be another funny one. Grease,
Reese.
the album, the movie.
Grease
album.
2?
No, the
The
first
Grease
one.
one?
See how you figured that? You made me tell my age and shit. Like the original one, but I it just because. But let me say this, because it was a
Yo,
motion
that was a
picture.
hot rock. Yo, that was a hot album. Okay.
Yeah, it was a motion picture thing. And again, I my mind was open to music back in the day. So it was that. You said purchase. So I'm
No,
sticking with
actually,
that.
yeah, bought, yeah, paid money for.
And then Beat Street.
Okay.
Because soundtracks for movies were on the vinyl back then, and then and they were like right around the same time. To be honest with you, and then The Gambler, the Kenny Rogers record album. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
what
That's a
yeah.
White Cliff flipped one time.
Yeah. Oh, for the Sound Clash.
Yeah. Yeah.
Killed it. Killed it. Yeah, but then that was, from there, man, my pops used to, I know he hated me because I was like, yo, every time I had cash, any kind of cash, I was going to the record store. Peaches is, of course, the main one at the time.
Yep.
Before I really discovered, like, all the mom and pop stores. Yeah, it was Peaches, Murmur Records. And then there was a house, because I used to do house music back
Yeah,
then.
there was, like, we talk about it all the time, Vinyl Frontier.
Yeah, Vinyl
Vinyl
Frontier.
Frontier.
And then
I
Kissimmee
worked there
was,
for about a year.
Kissimmee was Music Man.
Wow, Music Man.
Music Man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then there was Vinyl Frontier as well, and then there was another underground record store off of Mills, I think it was, and I want to say Icy on that. No, AK 1200. One of the DJs, one of the big house DJs out here owned it, and we used to go there all the time as well. Yeah, get vinyl from there. Some of those
There.
names I can't even tell you what those records were called because. Back then, it was a lot of European stuff that was we called it trans and all that stuff.
Right,
So
trans
yeah,
records.
Yeah.
so it was just like that. But yeah, man.
Yeah,
those are my-
those, and then for reggae, it was Dolly One Stop or Dancehall Dolly One Stop, and then Carib Craft.
Carib Craft, yeah, that was off of.
It was off Church Street. It was
right,
downtown, yeah.
Yeah, Carib Craft, yeah. Dolly was definitely a plug,
Yeah.
And then Carib Craft was a plug as well, and they had the studio in the back, so you get
Yep.
the dub plates.
Get the
in the
plates in the
back.
back.
Yeah, wow. We get some dubs back then, but yeah, man, those were my first records and our first purchase. Then it started. It was just a wrap from there. Just like you're talking about, of course, Peter Piper. Jeez, just I mean, I can't like so many like the raw bass records that was coming out of town. Like, and then of course, that was on the Front Street because again, I was starting off with Dr. John. I needed what I could play in the dances. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Right.
I couldn't play all my stuff in the dances, right?
Right.
Excuse me. So, but then I started diving into my first like I'm a Tribe Called Quest junkie. So you know what I'm saying, like Left My Wallet and El Segundo, all that stuff is like boom, it just started. It was just on and popping from there, and then of course all the BDP records, Jay, fuck you. But you know what I'm saying, like Criminal Minded, like all that, like all that stuff.
You said fuck Jay.
Yeah.
The bridge is over.
Yeah,
Let's go there.
exactly. Yeah. But so, yeah, man, it was just those were the days, man. Yeah.
It's because you said Jay with the Queen shit. But
Queen's joint, yeah.
anybody plays the bridge is over and Jay's in the scene, he has the only
Face.
face,
Only
puppy,
mean mug.
mean mug.
Yeah, man.
He can't do anything.
He
about
holding
it.
a grudge.
Yeah, big
Yeah.
He's
time.
holding a
I mean-
grudge.
Yep.
A beef he had nothing to do with.
Nothing to do with. But I ain't mad at him for representing his borough and stuff like that, so that's cool. But for me, I was in a neutral place because I didn't come from any of those places. So it
Yeah, I
didn't
mean,
matter.
I was in Harlem. So.
Yeah, I was just following the
Yeah.
culture. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we do. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
I think we
Like,
talked about shit recently. I think it was last night we spoke about it after the club. We're talking about Brooklyn keeps on taking it.
Manhattan
We're talking about Manhattan keeps on
Yeah.
making it.
Queens keeps on faking
Thinking it. Yeah. Throwing that red alert in
Red
there.
alert, yeah.
Yeah, that was the album,
was the
too.
shit.
Yeah, it was.
That was the shit.
And it's funny because like, I tell people like even with the record thing, when you back then, like it was we were fiends when it came to DJing, like buying vinyl, like that was
That was our crack.
That was the
That was our crack.
that was the fun of it.
man.
You know what I mean? I need to find out what that is. I need to find that record. You know what I mean? And
And we used to we had me and Khaled every day during during lunchtime. We broke out from the school and was gone just record shopping every day.
yeah.
We didn't miss a day. And sometimes we would come back with nothing. But back then, if you knew the mom and pop stores, you get them promo records,
Right.
and
They
they
used
wouldn't
to
know
get
the
them.
value of them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So some of these the mom and pop stores that we were dealing with, they didn't understand what a Tribe Called Quest record meant to us. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? What a De La Soul record meant.
Some of
What a
the
Wu-Tang record was.
even the house stores, like the house record stores, they would get hip hop vinyl too.
Absolutely. And, they
And I know
understand.
what the hell it was.
Yeah, so like whenever they got them promo, they always got the promo records in
Yep.
addition to the ones they were selling.
Right.
So they would they would like, yo, here, take these. You know what I'm saying? And there was a gold mines for us. You know what I'm saying? So we just, bro, we hit like every day we hit at least 5 record
I
stores.
remember I working for Vinyl Frontier. I did the hip hop section for them.
Oh,
you
you
had-
had the hookup.
So I had the catalogs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I had to order by a certain time on Tuesday to get the records by Friday. You know what I'm saying? I never skipped the fucking Tuesday at
No,
all.
absolutely
and then I
not.
was there on Friday, like getting my shipment.
Yeah,
But the
man.
deal I made with them was basically I could order whatever I wanted to order, 2 copies for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was my pay. 2 copies for me.
Yeah.
I ain't get no money.
Right,
I could do
right.
a little cheap ass flyer at Kinko's. I put like whoever's album coming out new, stuff like that.
Right.
Put that on the flyer, Vinyl Frontier, the address, blah, blah, blah. Had the little map you draw. Back in the day, we used to draw
In the square.
Yeah.
in the square.
And that was a map of the flyers
Yeah,
for the
that was
parties
right,
too.
right,
Yeah.
too.
Shout out to Neil
Like-
Farrell too for drawing a lot of the
Yeah, he
flyers
did
back in
all
the day.
those flyers.
Yeah, man. But you know what's crazy is like the amount of vinyl that we used to collect per day. Sometimes, again, like if you went to Peaches record store, you would buy a single for like it's like $5.99. I think it's back in the
Yeah,
day. it was
$5.99,
pricey.
you're about right.
I remember it's because it's funny because I always recall the stickers from Beat Street and from Rock and Roll, like the 444
Right.
with the records, and it could not that I ever went to Tower Records, but I used to see them like
Yep.
when I see them in people's crates or it may have ended up in my crate or whatever, and it always had that 444 sticker on it. You know what I'm saying? But for us down here, it was like $5.99 or whatever, right? But I didn't spend that much money at Peaches. My money was spent at the underground shops because Peaches didn't carry all the stuff that
No,
we were
they
playing.
didn't.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm
Or
saying?
if they did, it was a limited amount. They would get
Right,
in.
you know,
Yeah.
and there and then I had to worry about you guys getting the records before
Shit,
I
I
got to it.
But yo,
That Peaches by the Florida Mall.
That's the one.
That's the one. That's
Yeah.
the only one I knew about.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
right
There was
there.
one on Colonial too.
Yeah, near
Okay.
the Fashion Square
In the
Mall.
Fashion Square. I used
And
to,
I think there was one in Altamont as well, if I remember correctly.
I think so.
But the Peaches on Florida Mall, that was the big
was the
one.
one. That was the big one,
Yeah,
yeah.
and they always they got some good stuff. I'm not gonna lie, but it wasn't like the promo. And then some of the versions that you got on the promo records were different than the ones that you
the
get in the
album.
store.
Of course.
So it was like the thing. So again, we would listen to the Future Flavors tapes and whatever, and then again, somebody had to send us those tapes, or if they were just up there and they were coming back down, cats were doing runs back in the day, whatever.
I used to
right?
go
Yeah,
up there,
yeah.
I saw my family, but I was stuck in the room recording.
Yeah,
Bring
yeah,
the tapes back home to see what I need to get.
that's exactly
Man,
right.
I used to have my DJ bag. I used to take with me empty
And then
when I
go
would
up
go
there?
back and forth
Yeah.
to New York, and I used to have my days rocking soul,
Yeah.
Downtown Records, whatever I could hit.
Oh,
I used to
uptown,
hit.
was it uptown and down? Was it
We had-
upstairs and downstairs records? I think is what it was.
Yeah, but we had one that was called Downtown Records. Yo,
Oh, okay.
Downtown
Downtown
Records, they used to get all the white labels. Like when I say they had everything white label, they had all the promos there.
Yeah.
So I used to raid them and across the street from Rock and Roll, well, I'm sorry, Rock and Soul,
Like I saw.
there was a reggae
Soul,
store like 2 blocks down across the street, and I remember that's why I bought like Murder She Wrote and all those songs like that. I bought it from there. Yeah.
I remember going to Jersey, meeting a girl in the bar that my brother put me on to. She's like, what you out here for? See my brother go to the record store. She goes, oh, I want to come. I go, you sure? Shit. To the Rock and
Before a
Soul.
long time.
10 hours
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She was carrying records too. She was
That's
the first-
SpongeBob
that was
shit.
that's a groupie shit.
SpongeBob
Carrying the
shit.
record shit too. You know what I'm saying?
10 hours later.
Later.
Rock and Soul, man. I never forget the first time I went to Rock and Soul. It was with Nasty and Cali. We was up there for the New Music Seminar, I think it was at the time. And we walked out the store, and this little fucking kid came up behind us and boom, snatched a vinyl. Gone. Kid
He saw
couldn't
the
have, been
cover?
couldn't have been no more than 10 fucking years old. Boy, I was so hot.
He was definitely with somebody older. That was watching y'all. Was like, yo,
Yo.
they buying that shit.
I was so hot, man. But me, me, I was like, shit, fuck it. I gotta go back in the store and get the same
get
shit
that-
again.
exactly,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, he got me that time, but I guarantee
He
you
ain't
he ain't
gonna
gonna
get
get
me
me when I
again.
come out this
Yeah.
time. You know what I mean?
You see how he said earlier too? You say naming the prices of the records.
Yeah.
He goes, you probably have records in there for somebody else. So if you DJ with Caesar back in the days, don't find your shit or they didn't find your shit,
Nah.
Caesar has
And
it.
you got it from
Nah.
Tower Records.
Nah, it wasn't
You got it for
that.
Tower Records? Caesar got it.
It wasn't that. Nah, man. It was just that. It wasn't that. It was just that, back in the day, there would be some vinyl that, you know, somebody might have an extra one of, and you might, or I had an extra one of, and I might be like, yo, I need that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could trade up on it, but I
Yeah.
ain't gonna just give it to you. You know what I'm saying? So I got to get something out of it, and that would be my way. Or they would just get it for me. You
That's a
know what I'm
good one. You flipped that shit real
Yeah,
good.
that was a good.
Stop that, man.
He
Stop.
finessed it. He
Nah.
definitely
Finessed
finessed
it.
it. He
That
finessed
wasn't
that
me.
shit.
Although I will say, my records got like half of my, not half of them, but a good amount of my records, core records that I had, was stolen from Heroes one night. I was so hot.
Yeah, I never left my shit anywhere.
Man, I was so hot. And yeah, but and I ended up seeing them in somebody's crates. And I was like, word? That's how you living? Never again. So
Damn, that sucks,
you know,
man.
yeah, it is what it is. But
So-
but yeah, man, we got a lot of vinyl at the crib. I have a lot of vinyl at the crib. I say we.
Yeah, I
my
think we
girl.
do too. Trust me.
Yeah, my girl wasn't too happy about that, but
But I tell my wife all the time. My shit ain't. I still got my shit.
Yeah.
It ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
It's part of us.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
It's part of that marriage.
It's part of the marriage. This shit
Feel me?
came with me.
Yeah, it's-
You know what I mean?
We had kids before we had kids.
right,
right.
That's what I say. Yeah,
You
these
know
my
what I mean?
kids
That-
over here, man.
Yeah.
Can't fuck with them.
And my
like
shit
that.
is in alphabetical order.
Yo, that's what I need to do.
No, my shit's
You're not the only person.
R&B's. I got my albums. Everything's in alphabetical order.
I believe that because
I got it by section. I got it by sections.
He
And
wants
the
me to
crazy-
do his for
yeah,
him.
I got it by
Crazy.
sections. The problem is that back in the days, like, you know, if you was part of G Unit, I had all G Unit together. When you start breaking up, motherfuckers, it's like, it's like,
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Okay, now I gotta put the game someplace else.
Right.
You know,
So it's like-
you know what pushed me over the edge is one time I was trying to find a record, and I could not find that shit. So I took I started like Saturday morning. I think I didn't end until Sunday morning. I stayed up all night, and I just took everything out, and I just started one by one. I said, this shit is never happening to me again. And I just keep them, even when I bought my new house or whatever it is, every time I move houses, I put them in order in the boxes, 1, 2, 3, and I put them back the same way.
Yeah, and see, I was kind of forced into having to have mine set up real quick, and I didn't get to do that, man. But I regret that wholeheartedly.
No,
man.
you got to do it, man.
I'm going to trust
Because
me.
right now, if you ask me for something, yeah, it's right here. Boop, I could pull that shit right
And
out.
I hate
No,
that I can't do that, man.
Yeah, be like, I think it's here.
I think matter of fact,
Maybe like here.
matter of fact, I think, yeah, no.
I can do that with like the ones that are in my studio. I can do that with, just because I put those in there for a reason. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Like
right.
those are my core. You know what I mean? And some of them I still need to go in. Like I know I want to record certain. Like again, every single had like remixes and the instrumentals or whatever, and you can't get some of that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Acapellas, what have you. I know they got this new STEM shit going
STEM
on.
shit
but,
going on right now.
but it's not the same to me. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to record those and then start importing them into my computer. So that's what I need to work on that. I'm glad you mentioned that, man.
Yeah, you gotta do it, man. You don't gotta do it all in one day like me. I went crazy, but
Yeah, I was on about alphabetical, but God
yeah,
damn.
you just know what the problem is. You just gotta start.
True.
That's the problem. Because if you look at it like, oh shit, I got like me 15 to 20,000 records. You know what I mean? And you're looking at the big picture. You just gotta start. Because if you don't start, you're never gonna
I
start.
have some crispy ass covers, so it's hard to put those with the
With
nice
the-
clean covers.
right,
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
you
yeah, I
gotta
feel you on
start.
that.
You know,
Yeah.
so like crispies up here, the
Can
clean
you
ones
imagine?
down here.
Can you imagine I can imagine what Kid Capri's shit looks like. Cause,
Oh man, I'm sure
'cause-
he got a basement or something like.
but here's the
No, but
thing,
Baby's
though.
is a studio.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
One-
yeah.
One of his houses.
But the
One of
thing
his
is,
houses,
yeah.
right?
But the thing is, man, and I just recall seeing some of his vinyls, man. I'm like, yo, his covers are gone. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
But that's from moving him, moving the records in and
from
out.
out
so
the
quick.
crates, yeah.
We're
that's-
talking about Kid Capri. He probably
Yeah,
paid
no,
somebody
absolutely.
to fix that shit right
Absolutely.
now. You know what I'm saying?
But
Put that shit in alphabetical order.
Right.
He probably got copies of copies of copies.
yeah.
So-
but we got a lot. We got a lot. I say
What?
we again.
Well, give me like some top DJs back then, like when you first started, and then top DJs now that you are in the up and coming right now.
Shit, back then. I mean, just
Let's go locally, obviously. Yeah.
oh, locally.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, man, I'm sitting in here with the two of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, UCAS was doing
Appreciate
it. You know what I'm
that.
saying? Like, and then man, Carlos and Mario, man,
Maestro
Panic
and
Production.
CeeLo?
Yeah.
Panic.
Sorry, I know him. I
What
call
you
people by
say?
their names.
Maestro and CeeLo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Maestro
Maestro and
CeeLo,
CeeLo. Like
yeah.
he call them Carlos and Mario, but
yeah.
the two brothers, Panic Productions.
Right.
Rob Swift. Or was it Ray Swift? Was it Ray or Rob? I can't remember. But I think it's
There's a
Rob.
vibe and it's a very
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, then I think Ray is the one from Orlando. Rob Swift is from the Executioners, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So Ray Swift, I'm sorry. And then let's see, Romeo. who else? Man, and I'm speaking to the back in the day.
Right, right.
Of course, Nasty. Jimmy Jams. Of course, Jimmy Jams.
Yeah.
He was on another level. So it was just, Rich and Ray, the Babalu Bad Boys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Twice as nice.
Yeah, man. And then, rest in peace, man. But DJ MC, who from 8 Ball Productions, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
yeah, he was popping, man.
Yeah.
He did his thing. Never forget, man. He had a Houdini set that was out of this world, man. It's like, yo, he's killing that. You know what I'm saying? And he always set up the platform for the party. So, and then, Pro Style or Alex, if you know him, Pro Style back in the day. Damn. And then from the Caribbean side, man, I would say, you remember Yogi? DJ?
Yes.
Yeah.
Crazy Yogi.
Yep, Crazy
Crazy
Yogi.
Yogi. DJ Rude Boy, or from the Rude Boys, Yogi. My brother Chino used to do a lot of reggae back then. Jay Storm.
They were part of that crew back in the days we used to do parties with, off of Mills.
Yeah,
was
they
Chino,
were
Jay
called,
Storm,
I think they were
Native
called
Sounds?
Native
Native
Culture.
Souls.
Native Souls.
Native Souls, yeah, Native Souls,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. So the whole Native Souls crew. So yeah, that was Chino, Jason, or Jay Storm now. And he doesn't really do the party thing.
No,
so,
he doesn't. He's a battling DJ.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, man, outside, and then again on the Caribbean thing, man. Rest in peace, Maria. But the gangster bitches back in the day. So it was,
Right.
It's Maria and then Alex, right?
Yep.
So they was doing the thing on the Caribbean level. It's funny because I fuck with him real heavy, Remington right now. But I didn't really he was doing Four Fighter Group and all that
Fighters,
stuff.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was like after we did our thing. So
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was-
They came in after us.
That was the next generation of DJs.
Yeah,
Everybody-
yeah.
That was
it
after
the,
us.
The,
Yeah.
Panic Production.
Yeah.
Yep.
American
And then-
Cino.
Yeah.
right.
And then it was Remington and his crew. Was a cat who's in, I think, Fort Myers right now, Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, Quest. Quest.
Oh, Quest. Yeah.
And Quest.
And 007.
007.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. That was that.
Oh wow, Devils. Yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Yeah, so there
Yeah,
was-
so that group like that, it's no disrespect to them. They weren't part of my generation when I was coming up in terms of the
Right,
hip hop. You know what I'm
right.
saying? So, and then Tony Touch because he was down here a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man. What was
He's
the
originally from, I think, from Orlando, isn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah.
Right, Tony?
To my knowledge,
Yeah, he lived
That's,
here for a
that's
while.
why I said,
yeah.
I think.
I don't know if
Tony
he wasn't born. I don't know that
He wasn't born
he
here,
was
but
born, no,
he
was
moved
born
there and lived here,
He
I
lived
think,
for a
yeah.
little, yeah.
So they got their thing in terms of Nelquans and
Right, right.
the
Naquan
him
Touch,
shop.
right,
Yep.
right.
So, yeah, man. But
What about now?
what about now?
Yeah.
There's a lot, honestly. Just keep it funky. Like, there's a lot of DJs. Let me rephrase that.
Right.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
The DJs that are really still doing their thing in the game, definitely my brother Livewire. Ghost Rider's doing this thing. You know what I'm saying? Tamara's. It's funny because I remember when she first started. It was her and what's the other girl's name? She's like a techno DJ now. It'll come to me in a minute, but she was first doing a thing, and so it's interesting to see them grow. But
Right.
but Tamara's doing a thing as well. I just don't like when I look at a lot of the DJs, I'm like I have some different standards that everybody else
Right,
has. You know
right.
what I'm saying?
No, of course, yeah.
But
no horn effects.
right, yeah.
No drops.
Not all the time.
No
Right.
bombs. No, none of that.
M Squared. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like,
Yep.
you know what I mean? Like, and I would, to be honest with you, like he's a lot of people like sleep on M Squared.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's why I
Big
said I tell
time.
people all the time, and we talked about this
Yeah.
Next
with
level
somebody
shit.
else. He's ahead
By far.
by far.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you have to love the culture and love hip hop, love DJing
Yeah.
to really understand what he does.
Yeah.
You know what I
he's doing his
mean?
thing. Yeah. So then there's Nice, Now Boogie, shoot, damn, what's that cat's name? So okay, Nice, Now Boogie. I had some other ones in my head right now, but man, there's so many DJs out here now. Of course, Pro Style still in the game. D
Right.
Strong. It's funny because though he's not as he doesn't DJ in the club that often anymore, but like, to my knowledge at least, but he's still a dope DJ. If he ever really needed to get down and get into it,
Right.
yeah, he can do his thing. And then, yeah, man, I would say probably Arsonist, definitely Arsonist. Man, we got a lot of DJs in
We
Orlando.
have a lot of
Yeah.
DJs worldwide. I mean,
And quality
I
wise.
think in quality wise,
Yeah.
I mean, you think about at one time it was just about just MCs. There was MCs everywhere.
Yeah.
And then like took a turn. Now there's
Right.
more DJs now than MCs.
Yeah, I think Orlando has a lot of talented DJs, and we definitely get slept on.
Yeah. Oh, Ray, my brother Ray from
Ray
Jam.
Lo-
Yeah.
Ray
no,
Love, is it?
DJ. Yeah. Well, no,
DJ Ray
that's
Love?
a different Ray Love.
Okay.
I mean, that's a different Ray. He's dope too. He's dope. But Ray from Jam Lando.
Okay.
Yeah, I still dub him as Jam
Yeah, yeah.
Lando Records. But yeah, Ray Riviera.
Right.
Rivera,
Which is
whatever
not
his name
Ray, it's Ray Rivera's his real name, but his DJ's name
is
is
it Ray Rock?
no, Infinite.
Infinite.
Oh,
yeah.
DJ
Ray.
Infinite.
Yeah.
Infinite. That's Ray.
Yeah.
That's
DJ
right.
Infinite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then Free Fall. Ray Rock is another one.
Yep.
Yeah. What's his name? Is it AT DJ AT? It's a new cat that I saw. Like it's a Haitian dude. I think he's Haitian, but he does his thing, man. I was shocked. I was like, wow, this
Yeah.
guy's good, man.
crazy.
So I'm seeing other ones. You know what I'm saying, that are out there.
Of
New
course,
generation.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So if I didn't mention somebody, it's just probably because I just haven't seen them. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
right.
But there's no disrespect to nobody, but I can only speak to what I see. And
No,
what I know.
absolutely.
There's some other DJs out there that are on a lot of parties. I don't necessarily think they're the best DJs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
What's your thought about now the hip hop scene in Orlando?
What is my thought about it?
Coming from early stages of early '90s to now.
I think, man, I think we need to get back into a place where we're open-minded in respect to how the flow of the parties and the music scene goes. You know what I'm saying? If you're asking me, like, what do I feel about the artists here locally in Orlando for the hip hop scene? I wish I saw more of them. You know what I'm saying? I think there's a lot of dope acts, dope artists that are coming out of Orlando. They
Right.
just need to, one thing I got sick of hearing is Orlando doesn't want to put Orlando on. It's not just Orlando. First, let's get this clear. Every city is like that. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, with the exception of New York. You know what I mean? And Atlanta, right? Or Cali. You know what I'm saying? Like this. But those are major cities. Maybe Miami, right? But outside of that, you see that a lot. I'm sure there's other ones you can mention, cities that bring up the local artists. But the difference is those cities have people who grew up and were born there and were raised there. You know what I'm saying? So they understand what the music that's needed for that community is. And those artists,
All for that city.
right. So those artists put out the music for that city.
Right.
We don't have that in Orlando. Every artist that's here in Orlando wants to do something hardcore, this, that, and the third. Orlando's not that city. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying we're Mickey Mouse, but what I am saying is it's cultural based. And the people that get it, that play to what's in Orlando, are the ones that are coming up. And people call them corny, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But respect to Smiles and Southstar, for example. They got it. So they did a record that was somewhat crossover, etc. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it worked because it had like a Caribbean feel to it, whatever. Whoop-de-whoop. Again, that might not be everybody's lane.
Right.
But what I'm
It
saying
worked
is
for them. And it worked for the city.
And so the city saw it and they gave them that Trill, when they did their thing. Their record got big.
Yep.
Not locked down. The reason why is because it was fun. It was a girly record. You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Right.
I'm not saying that that's what you got to put out, but let me rephrase that. I'm not saying that you can't put out other hip hop or good music as you see it and be successful, but don't be mad at the city for not supporting it
Right.
if it doesn't make sense for the city. Like like if you're just talking about some that's like music that's like, hardcore street stuff that's going down. There's a lot of, there's the something boys, there's Glock 9, there's all kinds of crazy shit going on now, right? So there's a lot of that's doing well in the city for the community, and those people are putting them up and they're bringing them up, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? But there's not enough of those in Orlando. That's the thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why you don't get all the love from everybody and all the DJs and the radio's a whole nother conversation, but all the DJs and all the other stuff, because it doesn't make sense in all the clubs.
Yeah.
You can't play all that stuff in the clubs. You go to the clubs out here in Orlando, if you don't play African music, if you don't play, any reggaeton or bachata or anything like that, you're doomed in the
Yeah.
club scene. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the reality. And it's not a bad thing, but that's the
Right.
reality. So if you're not making, so when other artists come up to us and say, yo, you can play my record in the club, I look at it and say, yo, first let me listen to it. I'm trying to hear it, trying to feel it. It doesn't work. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you should expose it. You're right. in the right type of environment. This is not the right place for that. Like, it's not the right set for that, I guess the best way to say it. Oh, but you play, Future or whatever, or Drake or whatever. You're right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not denying that. But that's because in this type of environment, that's what they're looking for. Not to say that they can't be looking for years in the future, but what are you doing to get your name out there with this group of people? Is what I need to know. And
So
if you're-
now, as you talk about that, how do you, if someone comes up to you while you DJing and they give you a thumb drive and you gonna plug it into your laptop?
No, because I don't know what's on that thumb drive.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
What,
do
what
that.
about they take a $100 bill?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I don't know what's on the thumb drive. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I've never been one to take money for people to play music. I don't do that.
Yeah.
That's one thing. And some people are like, yo, of their own music. Let me rephrase that.
yeah.
Because I was a DJ in the strip club. I took some money.
Hey now.
But
Hey yo.
But yeah, but like if somebody gives me their thumb drive, or they come at me like, yo, if I sing you some music, you play it. If I'm in now, especially in the strip club environment,
Yeah.
I played a lot of local artist music, no problem.
Yeah.
In fact, I even started doing mixtapes with it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
No problem. They offer me money to play it. I often turn it down. I don't think I've ever really taken any money from anybody to play the music in the club, and I feel good about saying that because
good, that's
I'm
good.
not. My job is to play music, and I'm giving you exposure. I don't have a problem with that, but just can't do it when I'm in an environment where it's time to roll. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just can't do it.
Yeah.
Question. So I noticed going through your files and everything, going
Oh,
to
boy, here
see
we
what's
go.
going on.
Here go the questions.
Nah, not a questions. It's just
Lord. Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's go.
at one time you played baseball, and you played the trumpet. What
Tuba,
made
tuba.
tuba? I mean,
Oh,
tuba,
the
tuba,
tuba.
tuba, tuba, yeah, the tuba, and
Little ass trumpet.
played baseball.
That's
and
not
you
a,
became a DJ. So, what led you to that?
I play football too.
Play football? I ain't
Yeah.
see, I ain't
Just
see
certain
that.
people. Yeah. Certain people got to hold certain pictures in there. So.
Yo, did you ever go to band camp though? Because you know what happened that one time at band camp, right?
Oh man. So yeah, man. I play. I played baseball. It's, everybody. They had little league games, and yeah. There's an image that's out there that's of me in the A's cap and all of the stuff. So. That was just the local, for our neighborhood. That was the team that I was on. It kind of switched every season. You get a different team plugged into whatever. But yeah, I did that. And then the Pop Warner football and all that stuff, I did that as well. The band thing, man, just came from. I just was getting music, man. I just
Music.
and it spoke to me. So it started off with the baritone, and then I jumped into a little bit of the trombone. Then that wasn't my thing. I wasn't trying to be sticking my. Anyways, I wasn't trying to do all that. So, and then from there, I fell into the laps of a tuba because my uncle, who was somebody I looked up to, he played the tuba for Jones High School, and if locally, if you black, you knew during the season of football, like you had to go to Jones games, like
Right.
at the time, and there was and their band held it down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was our FAMU. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he was a tuba player, so the tuba members of the band, they carry the band. You know what I'm saying? Next to drums, of course, but like on the doing the thing, it's the biggest instrument out there, and you're the one person who's playing through the whole halftime show. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, my tuba
That's
did.
dope. That's dope.
I played at Tuskegee. Not afraid
People,
to say.
people might not know, but you are grandfather of 3, right?
3, yeah.
that-
About to be 4.
But before,
Yeah.
me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found out 2 weeks ago.
Yeah?
Yeah,
That's
4,
dope.
yeah,
What a
so-
feeling, right?
It's the best feeling.
Yeah.
You can spoil them
I ain't got
and
there
then go
yet.
home.
I ain't got there yet. My kids are old. My kids are in their 20s, but
Yeah.
we ain't there yet.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Baseball.
So we want to get to the games?
Yeah, absolutely.
Uh-oh, we doing games?
Yep. So let me kick it off here. So now, say 3 different people call you, right? Same amount of money for each one. Which one you doing? House party, a club, or a corporate event?
House party.
Don't matter. The bag's all the same for all of them. It don't matter. Same day, you're gonna choose the house party. Why? Why would you choose the house party?
Because I'm there with the people, and the people are there with me. They're there for the right reason. They're there for what it is that I can really have fun with it and
Right.
get creative with it. I've done corporate shit, and it's cool. I mean, obviously, it's easy money. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
hands down, I'm not tripping. But if I at this stage of my life, especially now, I like house parties can be funny, but you know. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, but I like being there with the people. You know what I'm saying? So if I can see what's going on, if I'm not feeling, they're not feeling me, then I can change it up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I can explore and take people back, whatever. I can't really do that with parties in the city. You know what I'm saying? Or promoter
Yeah.
calls. I can't do that with corporate events all the time either. So yeah, I would say house party. I miss house parties. They're fun. It's a lot of work. But,
It
you
is a
know.
lot of work. Yeah.
But nowadays you still carry shit anyway.
Yeah, you're right.
Right.
Yeah, people ask me all the time, like, yo, why you? Cuz, man, I'm getting older, man. I got to carry shit because I don't want to put on too much weight. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
carry the turntables. They're kind of heavy.
But
So
you're eating better now too, ain't you vegan?
vegetarian.
Vegetarian,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I
What's
don't,
up?
I drink a lot of water. As a matter of fact, I need that.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the little bottle like,
yeah,
yo,
grab it.
Nah, I am. Trust me.
Grab it.
Yeah.
It's a love-hate relationship with
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, bottle girl, bartender, or groupie?
Bottle girl, bartender, or groupie? Definitely not the groupie. Boo. Damn. I would say bartender. I guess you ain't wondering why. I would say bartender because 9 times out of 10, bartenders. I have a lot of respect for bartenders. You know what I'm saying? Because they're dealing with a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? And they're fixing drinks and they're dealing with a lot of attitudes and a lot of vibes. But they also have to be, they get an opportunity to just hold the ground on stuff and be like, nah, I'm not doing that. Or here's your drink, and they hope that they do it to ensure that everybody else is having a good time, and
Right.
then they hope for a good tip, right? They may not always get it, but they still have a smile on their face. Whereas the bottle girl, they already know. That's what there's
getting that tip,
expectations.
yeah.
Yeah, like sometimes they're built into it. The tab, and then they work harder to get more out of it. It's not that I don't respect bottle girls, because this is where the promoter side kicks back in, because
Right.
we need bottle
Right,
girls,
right.
So it's not that, but if I was, and I think that's also because I don't really, I don't drink, so I'm damn sure not gonna be spending. I know what the cost of stuff is from
Right,
the bottles,
of course.
So I'm not gonna be blowing that
I
kind
think
of money.
everybody knows the cost.
Yeah, and they
people
still
just
do it.
want to still do it. No
Nah,
matter
but
what.
see, I ain't that dude, man. That's again, like I said, like I've been at big shows and I'm DJing the show, and people are like, yo, where's that? I'm out in the crowd, I'm chilling, because I don't need to be in VIP. It's not my thing. It's just not my thing. So yeah, bartender.
Definitely. So we like to start a lot of shit here.
Oh,
Another question: DJ Drama, DJ Khaled.
It's for the streets.
For the streets, you said?
Yeah, it's for the streets, because that's
for the streets.
that's what's
Yeah.
going on right now
Yeah.
on the internet, right?
Yeah,
That's the great
assholes.
debate.
That's a great debate. Right now, you know what I'm saying?
It's interesting because for the streets, I feel like Khaled and Drama are two different people. Like, it's no
Yes and no.
comparison, really. Like,
So because, but again.
but I'll tell you this. No, I'm gonna go with my foundation, because I'm gonna go with Khaled because that's what got him to where he's at, is being from, like, going for the streets and going for the people.
Right.
Definitely got him to where he's at. Starting from here, even when he was in New Orleans, to Miami.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if it hadn't been for that mindset, then he wouldn't be where he's at right now. And Drama just hasn't gotten there. That's all it is. I mean, not to say he's not big. He is. But the Atlanta streets are different than what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So, and they had the artists to go with it. So when Khaled was paired up with the artists to go with it, you see what he got out of it. You see where he's at now. You know what I'm saying? Drama had the Jeezys and all that stuff in the mixtape game.
Little Verts and
Yeah.
the
you know,
Jacks.
Rosie Jack Harlow.
Yeah. But when Khaled had all that down in Miami, he made it. You know what I'm saying? With that in mind. Even from the Trick level. You know what I'm saying? The Rick Ross, then of course Fat Joe, and on and on, Lil Wayne, and bigger and bigger and bigger,
Right,
right? But that was him still doing it for the streets. And once he got, like, he didn't have those artists here in Orlando from that level, with the exception of, like, Missing Links back in those days. You know what I'm saying? So
About the Warheads.
the Warheads, same thing. Like, so they start off as Missing Links. That's
Right.
when we first had the group, and then from there they called themselves the Warheads. So yeah,
You guys remember Quasar?
yeah, I do.
Quasar.
Absolutely.
I just saw him not too long ago.
Wow.
Saw,
Quasar.
yeah.
Wow.
We had Quasar, Beady Heads,
BD
Lucky
Heads. Yep.
BD Heads, yeah. You remember Tick? I don't know if you guys knew Tick.
Tick.
A little short though. He looks like Jadakiss, honestly. He looked just like him.
Right,
Even
so-
raps like him too.
I still got the record that Nasty did for Jemani.
Wow.
I got that record.
That was when Jemani was always basically living at the International Reggae Club back
Yeah.
in the day. And Nasty did that record for him. And then that was also, so he did a remix for Roscos, Soul and Ice remix. And he won that because there was a competition in The Source for the remix. And he won. And he had that single out as well at
Yeah.
the same time. Wow, Jemani.
Think the sample who?
Yeah, let's get to the samples.
Oh boy.
So basically, we're gonna play the original song.
Remember, I'm getting old here. So
Yeah, that's
I
all
mean,
right.
nah, go ahead.
Play the original, and you just tell us who used it. You don't gotta tell us the original sample. Just tell us who used the name of the song or artist.
Okay.
All right.
Smokey, you ready?
You in Bank 7? Yeah. All right. Let's go. Stop.
That's it?
That's it. Copyright, baby.
Damn.
All right. Let's go one more time. Let it rock. All right.
A couple people use that, honestly, I
Right.
think. Yeah.
But this one uses almost the exact sample.
Yeah. The whole shit.
The whole shit.
Just looped it.
Damn, I'm hearing other stuff in there too.
Give us one. Who you thinking?
Shit. Hold on. Let me think about this again.
Doom, 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 doom.
Why am I freezing up on that?
Put
There
him
was
on the
two I
spot.
put there on purpose. I
Yeah,
thought that
yeah.
he was gonna.
I'm gonna pass on that one.
All right.
Still
Play
frozen on
play
it.
the song. Let it rock.
I hear so much in it. Stop it, because I'm gonna be mad because I don't even know it. Right? I'm not
That's
gonna
that ghost face.
The ghost face.
Oh.
Yeah.
Capadonna.
You know, so I'm gonna tell you something. Like, I'm a Wu fan, but I wasn't individually as much up on all
On the
all-
albums?
Yeah, I'm just putting that out there. You know what I'm saying? So not that I don't appreciate them, but a lot of the individual stuff I just didn't really gravitate to.
Well, we're gonna give you some homework.
Oh, I ain't, but you know what it was? I think what it also is just because it didn't, you know. And this is one thing people ask me, like, yo, see, you gotta remember, like a lot of what Wu represented back in the day, for me, it didn't speak to me as much. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Now, lyrically, did some of it speak to me? Yes. But there was a lot of extra stuff that was in between that I never claimed to live that life. You know what I'm saying? So like, I couldn't relate to it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So because of that, it just kind of became a turn off for me on that level. Now, again, I'm not telling you I'm not a Wu-Tang fan because I went to the studio. I love Wu-Tang. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we out there in Tampa.
Right, right.
We out there.
But my favorite artist from the Tang or from Wu-Tang is probably just Raekwon and I fuck with Ghost, I do, but Raekwon and Method Man.
Yeah.
Like that's, you know what I'm saying, like and RZA.
RZA,
But
yeah.
I like RZA for a lot of different things. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
So I can't tell you that I know all the tracks and all the underground tracks because they have a lot of them.
See,
But-
you don't gotta know them. Just
Yeah, yeah.
But listen, man, all good. I fuck with it. If I didn't get it, I didn't get it. Let's go to the next
That's
one.
Let's go to the next one.
I'm probably striking on this one too.
Stop it. You should have it. Know that right now. You should know that right
you
there.
know that
Off rip.
Off rip.
Wow, I'm singing the hook and everything.
Go ahead.
Play the whole song. 'Cause I want to hear the whole song.
Play it again.
Copyright.
Sample.
We can't play
Sample, yeah.
sample. Yeah.
But you can't.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
'cause
don't.
the
Copyrights.
wow.
All right, stop it.
You shouldn't
You
get
should
it.
know that.
No, he was talking.
Oh, play.
Yeah.
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 Play.
Yo, this is so funny because I'm on the spot and I know these shits. Huh?
He about
What do you say?
One
he's
day
telling-
when I was,
he's giving you a lyric from the song.
Oh, I didn't hear you something. My bad.
He said,
one day I was
"When I was walking,
Oh, you talking about
two-
these two
God.
kids talking.
moving that falling. Play.
Play it. Play the song.
Yeah, I was about to say like it's ain't nothing but the beat.
Exactly.
Punched up the beat,
Brand
beat
new
down.
beat.
Yeah. So here's the funny part. Like, wow, I'm stupid. Like that's like there's the remix of that too that I listen to more than the original.
Than the original joint.
Yeah, I think that's probably part of it as well. But yeah, Brand Nubian is wow. The 7 days. Those are the days where everybody in the hood just everybody had something to do with, like, you know, they'd be like, yo, are you Muslim?
Right,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I had the
yeah.
medallions.
wow.
We
But
all
yeah,
did.
nah.
Yeah. X Clan, the
Boss.
X Clan.
His Clan shit, yeah, all
Yo,
that stuff.
have you know what's funny? Because I follow Sadat X. Like, follow. His voice used to irk the shit out of me. But yo, he's really like that. Like, it's like
That's
and
his
he's a-
voice, yeah.
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 And he's like a nurse or something like that now, right? If I remember correctly. Anyway, I follow him now. So yeah, but Sadat X's projects individually,
Yeah, he got some joint. We did had, was it Loud Hangover? Was one of his joints.
yeah, that's he had so many. Like his voice comes through. It's just like perfect.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
You could tell his voice. Like,
Yeah. And Grand Poobah always.
Always
Yeah. What's the 411?
classic.
really.
Anyways, my bad. Go ahead.
Let's go on the third one.
If I strike.
There's an aching
Play it again.
there's
I'm singing the song. That's crazy.
But see how I get him? Because he said Tribe was one of his favorite groups, right?
Hold on. Yeah.
Then we play a sample from Brand Nubian. But
Right.
It's the same kind of,
Yeah, yeah. Same.
Tribe.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then now we're playing this, which he mentioned earlier, the person who produced it.
Right.
Hold on. You just fucked my thought out. I was thinking about some other shit.
That's what we're here for. Fuck your thoughts up.
You really, I was sitting there singing the
Play
song
one
in
more
my head.
time.
No, it's not gonna change nothing. Cause I was sitting there singing the song in my head.
there's
Oh man.
It's actually one of the best records to fucking do doubles on.
Huh?
Yeah.
To do doubles.
All right, play it.
Oh shit. I didn't even know that came from that.
Yep.
That's where it came from?
Yep.
Yep.
Play the sample again?
I just sampled it too.
Primo. Yeah.
Right
You
there.
hear it?
there's
Now play the song again.
You hear it?
Speed up.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I hear it there.
That's Primo's magic.
I didn't even know that one. Like that's
Primo's magic.
damn.
go to the next
I had
one.
never even heard that original one before.
Yeah. Oh.
What's his name? Is Big is on it too.
Yeah, it's Big.
What's his name? Shit. Whatever happened to it? It was
Fat Pudgy?
yeah, Fat Pudgy. Thank you. Yeah. Dude, that was my
All right,
shit.
play it.
That was my shit.
So yeah, what, two
That
out of two?
song didn't
Two
get
out of
enough.
four, I mean?
That song didn't
Get
get
enough
enough.
play. No.
Man,
Yeah.
wow. Boy, when you played that, oh man, I played that at the Biggie, the party, the brunch.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's my shit.
All right, so let's say.
I remember the vinyl for that. Now you keep the games going. Now it's just now you got
he
me.
want to redeem himself. Like,
Absolutely. But it is what it is.
We'll get you
man.
on part two.
All good.
We'll get you.
That's why I'm gonna be sitting there listening to Pete Rock when this one.
I'm telling you, yeah, absolutely.
But my problem is a lot of the originals like I hear because I hear music all the time, and because I'm a musician, I'm always paying attention to every piece of it. So like,
Yeah.
it's funny because my girl makes fun of me when
When
I'm
you driving
listening,
the car or something like that, yeah.
and I hear shit and I'm like, you hear that? And I'm just like, my head is moving all different directions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's because I'm hearing so much shit that can go into it, and plus where the original sample came from, or if it was the original sample with what came from that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
And I'm always thinking like, oh shit, you can go here with it, you can do that. Oh, nobody even used that part. You know what I mean? Like, so that's. But the challenges that I always have, and I tell my girl this because it gets me in trouble sometimes, is that I don't remember people's fucking names.
No, I
And
can say.
artists and like
Yeah.
and groups names and
Right.
records.
I'm
stuff
like that. I'm like that the same way.
but I can remember a lot of shit, but I'm just bad with names. I've always been bad with
Even
names.
people when you see in the clubs, like
Oh, I'm the worst with that. Yeah, but I'll save
I'm
it
like,
up.
I'm like,
Yeah. Like so
But
if
yo-
I have somebody with me, I tell them, yo, whenever you see me and I don't know somebody's, if I don't recognize them, if I recognize them but I don't know the name,
Right.
I'm gonna need you to introduce yourself, so then that way I can hear the name.
last
Yo.
night, just kicking people
fucked
out
up.
here. Last night, you see a lot of old heads that you haven't seen in a long
while,
time.
yeah.
In a while, you know what I'm saying?
Point exactly.
I'm sitting in the same spot. I'm staying in the same spot I was at, and I passed like 18 people. Out of 18, I remember like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But they knew who I was, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But I
yeah.
was like, yo, what's up, yo, how you doing? Shout out to JoJo. JoJo was there. You know, JoJo was out there.
Wow.
Breakdancing JoJo. But yeah, you
Damn.
just basically see these
Yo,
people.
JoJo used to be back in the day.
One of the our
Son.
first.
Yo, and that dude, it doesn't look like he's aged one bit. He
He's
looks
like,
the same.
He's like
as what
nasty.
he
Nasty.
That's a true story.
Right.
Yo, but JoJo, that nigga back in the day. Wow, man. Anyways, so damn, y'all got me on the sampling shit. All right,
all right.
fuck
Yeah.
y'all, man. Fuck y'all.
It's all right. So let's say you're driving from here to New York. You only got 10 albums you can listen to. What 10 albums would those be?
That's funny. Low End Theory, which sucks because it's not a long album time wise, but I listened to the hell out of that album. Another Tribe record. I mean, Instinct of Travels. Criminal Minded. Is that 3?
Yep.
You said I got 10?
10, yeah.
Moment of Truth. Gangstar shit. Notorious B.I.G. 36 Chambers of Death. Where am I at? Number 6?
Yeah.
Damn. I put them on repeat a lot. Oh, Illmatic. 7. Probably the shit. I would throw in. I honestly, man, like I end up repeating a lot of my albums, so it's like for me, it's like, then I'll throw in all the Bob Marley greatest hits. I'm just gonna call it like
Right.
that. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
It could be any genre. Don't got to be hip hop. You know
No,
what I mean?
trust me, it's not going to be. Yeah, and then probably Def Leppard Pyromania.
Okay.
So you're almost there. You gotta wake the fuck up now.
Yeah, you
Definitely.
you pulling.
Yeah, no, yeah. And then, man, probably. Damn, that's a tough one because I have so many. You know what I'm saying? But I do a lot of times. I just end up breaking down and listening to singles, so I don't always connect it with the album. But I would say all the Michael Jackson albums. And I hate that. That's I'm exceeding
Yeah,
the
no.
10
It is.
spot.
That's cool.
Yeah, but yeah, man. Like, but so like, and so what? So you understand what I'm listening for? Like when I forgot more. P Rock and CL Smooth back in the
I'm about to
yeah.
say because I know
Yeah.
Troy is your favorite record.
Yeah, it is. Yep. And then Skins is on that. Is on the album.
Yep.
So I go hard on that shit too. But yeah. Damn.
So since you've been on the radio for a long time,
Right.
after the club, you listen to the radio?
Nope.
Silence.
Silence?
Silence.
We
Straight
all
silence.
Same boat.
Yeah. People don't understand that. I don't want to hear shit.
Peace of mind.
Yeah, and I don't want to hear shit. I might from time to time listen to some talk radio or something like that, or like
A podcast?
yeah.
Pretty soon you listen to our podcast too.
Huh?
Pretty soon you listen to our podcast.
He gonna listen to his part.
No,
where he
I'ma
didn't get the
listen to all of
samples. Where he didn't get the samples.
Yeah, that's some fucking bugging. Now I'm gonna listen to all of them. To be honest, it's funny because D-Rock, we be playing this game and shit. You know, like back in the day, everybody was like, "Yo, where'd that come from?" You don't know where that came from. I'm like, nigga, come on,
He
man.
still plays
Yeah,
that
he
game
always
everybody.
does. Every single time he texts me all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, and I'm like, of course I do, and I ain't got no problem with that. But of course, on the spot, I get fucked up. That's all right. And I'm on video. It's okay. It is what it is. No, it's the herbs.
Yeah, he
gonna
gonna-
fuck with me up.
Right. He gonna clip it and send it to you. You watch.
Nah, I know.
Yo, Caesar, what happened to you right here?
Sometimes, but the way these producers flip samples though, right? I'm not even mad sometimes.
No,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
But those what I miss were pretty obvious, so I'm not gonna use an excuse.
True that.
What's your favorite hip hop movie or best hip hop movie?
Beat Street, for me. I
watch that shit every year during Christmas time.
the only reason why I say that is because it embodies for me everything of hip hop that I enjoy.
whole culture.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right.
Like there are other ones out there, but I don't feel like they embody it the way that story is. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? In terms of, and again, there may be a generational thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Juice is obviously out there for the sake of, you know, as a DJ, you know what I'm saying? But it's not there for the sake of what everything I was looking for.
Right.
You know, talking about from graffiti to breakdancing to the DJ, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and,
yeah, yeah.
And the party environment. So that's why I ran with that.
Yeah, like I said, I watch B Street every year during Christmas time.
Yeah.
Doesn't stop.
Yeah.
I'm saying it doesn't stop.
Yeah, it's
Ramon.
a
Stuff like
classic. Yeah,
Yeah.
classic.
Any more final words?
Any more final words?
Any final words? Yeah.
Man, I appreciate y'all for keeping this shit alive, man. That's really, I mean, salute to you guys, man, because I'm gonna keep it funky with you. Like one would say, I should be one that's trying to do the same thing. And to be real with you, like if I get an opportunity to get more involved with it, I'm there. I think I told you this last time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, of course.
and you know, I just have a lot of shit going on in my life.
No,
you know
no,
what I mean? Like,
definitely. I mean, I would definitely give you a call later on and stuff like that. There's some people that would like to get on this show that you could probably help us get on.
oh yeah.
Stuff
And
like
then then for me, man, like as well, man, I love Orlando and the hip hop in Orlando and Central Florida. You know what I'm saying? And I want everybody to continue being entrepreneurs and doing what they love to do and what's going to make them be successful with it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't always have to be the glamour and glitz. Don't think that just being, you know, the biggest name on the radio and all that shit is everything. It's not. You know what I'm saying? It's a bonus, and you know, for some. But not everybody can be on the radio, you know. And shout out to my station, Star 94.5. I'd be an idiot if I didn't say that, right? I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? But you know, but it's not, you know, everybody can't be on the radio. And that doesn't make you or break you. You know what I'm saying? That might be your drive. But shit, I think back to when we did our parties at Lebanese, being on the radio wasn't even a thing for me.
Wasn't a thing at all.
None of us. Like,
Yeah.
we weren't even worried about that. Like, yo, we were good with what we were doing, and it made us who we were amongst our people.
Right.
And that's what really counted. And that's what's gotten us to where we are now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, just keep doing that and do it for the love. Don't do it for, you know, for the extra shit. And
I
obviously,
think everything else will come eventually.
absolutely.
You know, just
including
stick to
money and all that other
Yeah,
good stuff.
everything.
Right.
Yeah, so.
The groupies.
Groupies.
Man, you trying to get me in trouble, man. Groupies was not my thing. Let me go on the record to say that. I did not have groupies, so boom.
No, he used to take your records.
So, wow.
He took
There
your
you go.
records. He wasn't no groupie shit.
Everybody used to be mad. A lot of people thought I was on some different shit because they were like, yo, why you never trying to talk to us? And because I'm about my business.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, it ain't
bunch of
all what
papers.
it's cracked up to be
Right,
anyways.
right,
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
that
it's
part.
cause
you know what I'm
problems.
saying?
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Giving you a hard time though.
We got to give you all the time.
No,
Exactly.
it's love, man. It's love.
So, if I want to book you or anybody wants to book you, how do we reach you?
Hit me up on from my email djcaesar01@gmail.com, or you're gonna hit me up on this is nowadays social media, but DJ Caesar on Instagram is again CAESAR. Yeah, man, hit me up that way, and I pretty
You
much
want that
respond.
real party, that real hip hop party, reggae party.
Yeah,
So you tired of hearing the same old shit in the clubs, on the radio.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want to see that person doing that favorite dance from TikTok. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
Man.
Hit up Caesar.
Yeah, definitely holler at me. You know what I'm saying? And again, if I'm not in the clubs, it's all good. Doesn't mean I'm not DJing. I'm still doing my thing. I'm just
Yeah,
not interested in being out there like that.
Right.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, we definitely thank you for coming through, spending some hours with us, and
Word.
taking time out of your day
Word.
to come chill with us and chop it up. So, you know, many thanks to you, our loyal listeners and viewers. And as always, we have another exciting episode coming up. Stay tuned. Until then, we out.
I've been your host, DJ Junebug, alongside DJ Khaled.
Yes, sir.
See you next time. Peace.
Peace.
DJs.
Jimmy Jams, a pioneer in Orlando radio. Jimmy Jams paved the way for all of your favorite DJs, not only on the radio, but also in the clubs. Unfortunately, due to health issues, Jimmy passed away. He is loved and missed dearly. Jimmy Jams, Respect the DJs podcast, salutes you.